Guys right across the nose of the 19. Briscoe has to get up the racetrack to find some grip. Denny didn't want to give that spot up. Really interesting to see him continue to side round, continue to fight, take his time, take a measured approach to be able to take that second spot. He's got clean air. Interesting to see if he can drive and run down that 5-car out the lead.
Look back behind him. Redding went from 16th to 10th. You guys talked about his advancement on the opening lap, but now going to lose that final spot in the top 10 maybe. Ryan Blaney there in the 12. 3 wide on the turn 3. Getting after early here.
I like the way he wants to decision. I don't like the second lane, but the third lane definitely can give you a big trouble on exit. He got in line, and because of that, he's actually going to go back on the offense. You see him now in line, moving forward as we see now the 54 and the 19 side by side for fourth. Oh, I love what Briscoe did right there. He just rolled the middle and really committed to the gas. See if the momentum's enough. It is. This whole track, we talked about 3 distinct corners as we ride off where we get on the Monster Energy. As we head into the tunnel, this is what I talked about, that kind of very narrow entry, picks up the gas, but it's kind of like corner, momentum down the straightaway. Corner, momentum down the straightaway. It's all about when you get offline, can you recover or are you going to lose positions?
Monster Energy onboard camera.
Very good, tight right there, guys. Watch the 19 drive away, just a little bit tight to the center of the corner there. That turn 3 is the most important corner because it leads onto this long straightaway. If you get off that corner poorly, you could be, in a bad spot here with cars catching you down this straightaway into turn 1.
Something else to watch, Steve. We saw this yesterday in the O'Reilly race. We saw a lot of debris floating around on the front straightaway. You get that on the grill, what does that do to challenge you?
So the Cup car is not as sensitive as the O'Reilly cars. Their grill openings are actually basically wide open. It'll go up in there, and as we ride on board with Cedric on the Ford camera. So these cars, surprisingly enough, the debris shouldn't overheat. Now, it can get in a position where it starves the engine for a little air and start to hurt power, but unfortunately, we kind of never know because it's underneath the hood, kind of out of sight. Trying to get a little organized here. That's 16 of King John, figure out the line. 41 of Cole Custer trying to fight for another spot here. 16 might be able to get there. Clearing right there off the turn 3. Bell right behind these two, trying to carry momentum down the straightaway, maybe try to put pass together on Cole Custer here on the turn 1. Out of line, top of your screen, that Castrol 4 and up a bunch of spots. Bell pulls out of line. Brad doing a nice job on 8 spots.
Yeah, nice to be +8, coming to the back. Brad told us on NASCAR Live, this has been a good track for us. The only one better in that category was Hosgar +9, now Bubba Wallace +10. Another driver coming from the back, crashed yesterday in qualifying, and Steve, we were like, oh, probably a backup car. Not the case. They repaired the primary with those changes. He still comes from the rear.
Yeah, I wasn't even probably. I just assumed it was a backup. Huge damage for the 23. It's really remarkable how kind of these cars can be repaired, how modular they are. You can unbolt the front nose, unbolt the front clip, change the parts as needed with confidence. Brad right there, that's blue, a green car right behind the 23 of Bubba, and I think the experience between these two, remember they started together on the front row, so while they're racing each other, I talked about the momentum, so we're going to see if Bubba pulls out of line, does Brad kind of push him through, instead of trying to attack the 23, so you see the 23 up the racetrack a little bit, they'll see if they can get to the outside of the 3, probably not, but he might have momentum off the top. If he pulls down low, maybe the 6 tries to go with him. 60 of Priest, another RFK Ford. Oh, SVG likes that 3 wide thought. And he's going to stick down in there in the tunnel turn, trying to get that spot away. SVG's going to have a nose ahead there.
Kyle Larson leads as we work lap 8. We remember Kyle Busch. NASCAR Live, and Danielle did such a wonderful job of telling that story as well. And it's a good time every week when we go silent lapping. Let's get an update from the pit lane. Here's Marty Snyder.
Denny Hamlin started on the pole, Adam, and then had that terrific battle with Daniel Suarez to hang on to the second position. Once that settled out, Hamlin did want to tell Chris Lambert, his spotter, a message. Here was that message.
It's not a big deal, but he did run me out of room there.
That was on the initial start of the race. So, Dale, if it wasn't a big deal to Denny Hamlin, why did he want to relay that message to Kyle Larson to say, hey, you ran me out of the room on the start of the race?
I think he's just trying to send a message that, for the rest of the race, if they're going to be racing each other, looking at the 5 car, it's going to be up there with Denny most of the day if they don't have any trouble. He wants a little more consideration on restarts. I'm sure, when we get to the final few restarts, Marty, all that's off the table. And Denny knows that. And he's just saying, hey, it's early in the race. No need to be aggressive. These two guys have had some run-ins here, at this racetrack. So maybe that's still fresh on their mind as well.
Toyota onboard camera riding with Denny. I think he's ahead of the game. Last couple weeks started on the pole. He was already in the back today. 8 laps in, he's right in second.
Do parents...
That's a lead, just over 2 seconds in front of Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, last couple laps, they've kind of been trading the fastest lap between these two cars, and it's hard to tell really, Denny's probably not pushing his car really hard. I'm not sure about Larson, but Denny, all these guys are going to run conservatively, probably trying to save a little fuel, lifting a little bit early for the corners, so it's really hard to handicap who's got the best car right here. But we talked about the 5 car at the start of the show and how they gained speed. You and I both talked to the crew chief over the course of the weekend, and it's been impressive how the advantage to the Toyotas has started to dwindle just a little bit over the last 4 or 5 weeks when you're talking about the Chevrolets, namely this 5 car.
Let's take a look. You mentioned how the left is driving on the bottom left. You're going to see 4th gear. This is a track that's consistently shifted that for years. So in this car as well, we're going to see an upshift to 5th right about to start finish. There you go. Now 5th gear.
You'll see over 200 if you're tight in the draft, kind of by yourself, maybe low 190s. That's just how draggy this car is. Downshift into 4th gear, some brake. We talked about the brakes into turn 1, what it can do. A little bit playing with the throttle right here. Now go to 5th. Now in practice, I saw a lot of cars run 5th gear all the way through the tunnel. We'll see if they decide to downshift or if he'll stay in 5th through the tunnel. He stays in 5th all the way through the tunnel. On the speed, still on the high 150s, it probably makes sense to just stay there. There's a little cat and mouse game between the 5 and the 11 right now because, as you mentioned, not only are you trying to save a little gas, but, with 15 laps to go on the stage, the other goal is this track, much like the road courses, you can pit and not lose a lap if you're close enough to the leader. Well, here at Pocono, it's about 15 seconds back. So what these two are trying to do, because they want to stay out, win the stage, get all these stage points, and everybody that pits before the end of the stage will just jump over them. So they're trying to gap those guys. Currently, AJ Allmendinger and Hocevar back in 17th and 18th, they're kind of at that threshold where they couldn't pit without losing a lap. The 5 and the 11 are just trying to gap that as best as they can, run as fast as they can. The 5 is not running as fast as Denny over the last couple of laps. Denny was 3/10 quicker the lap before, 1/10 quicker this lap. And this is what we've seen out of the 11 car. Not the quickest car firing off after restarts or on new tires, but boy, when we get into lap 5, 10, 15, he just excels above all of the competition, even the other Toyotas who have strong race cars. The long run speed in this 11 car over the last 3 or 4 weeks has just been tremendous, and nobody has yet to replicate it.
Think about last week and that final run of the race. I mean, it was remarkable what they did to come back and dominate at the end when you consider how the day began and what transpired through the first half. Let's now get drivers talking about the tunnel turn here at Pocono.
For me personally, what makes the tunnel turn so difficult is the fact that it's kind of a blind corner.
It's really narrow, so it's kind of this like game of chicken getting down into there, who's going to lift.
I feel like now the groove is widened out. Before, you really want to just fight for the bottom, and if you miss that, you were in trouble.
It's a really fast corner. So you don't spend much time in it, but you have to carry a lot of speed, and it's really bumpy.
Brutally aggressive bumps right down there by the apron, and it's not just one.
It's a corner that you have to have the guts to carry at the most speed you can, but also hit your mark.
I love all the different descriptions, and I love that shot watching the cars go through there. You can really see the bumps. You can also see the cars that I think by choice are running a few feet higher. It seems like you only have to go up maybe 3 or 4 feet, as Bubba was talking about the multiple grooves. Going up a couple feet has made that corner a little smoother.
Talked with Dave Ritchie this morning about how do you manage that part of the racetrack. Do you set the car up to drive through there or drive around it? You know, they all said ultimately we needed to do both, right? Because you have to have those options.
See, Ty Gibbs has passed the 19 at Briscoe, drove it to the back bumper. Suarez is third. This is the rest of the top 10 cruising through as we look the bumps in the tunnel turn. Back on board with Ty Gibbs and the Monster Energy onboard camera. Up a groove here, trying to get some clean air underneath that car. Trying to get the run off of turn 3, create some momentum.
Lead 2 in turn 1. Able to get a little bit of run down the short shoot from that.
Ask and he shall deliver. Run lane 2 to see if you get a little run down the short chute. Just like that, Ty Gibbs runs lane 2. Well, he wants to get all the air underneath that car to get air to the diffuser, create downforce and grip. So you're going to offset a little bit to whatever the 7 car does, except for through the tunnel. You really don't have that opportunity to run multiple blinds through this turn. You try everything you can to maintain what you have through that corner, not lose distance to the 7, so you might be able to challenge down in turn 3. The 7's going to run the top now. So you saw the 54 do that in lap 4 now. Suarez is going to take that groove away. Look at Suarez, little ball right there, can't get to the throttle. Gibbs saw that, he's like, oh man, a little bit of a run here, not going to be able to do anything with it, but Suarez is the new Ryan Newman. He's the guy that's going to take your line away. He's going to do whatever he can to make this pass as hard as possible. Gibbs going to go by, looks like Gibbs going to go out too.
That was snug, it appeared to me, coming off the corner.
Gibbs giving him a wave of thanks, making that too difficult.
And it's better for both of them to just let it happen. You know, Suarez gets side draftingly, drags the 2 of them back. They're just losing time together to lead. Instead of going to stage, you just want to try to stay as close to the lead as you can.
Top 5 as we go to break. Larson, Hamlin, Gibbs, Suarez, and Briscoe. Introducing somebody's new.
Larson's balance starting to become a challenge for him as Denny Hamlin's car continues to handle the way he needs it. Right here through the tunnel though, Denny can't seem to, look there, he gets tight right there. That's the part that he wishes he could do better. When he goes over there with those bumps, the 5 can get the throttle sooner and kind of get away just a little bit before they get to turn 3 here.
I really want to see this top speed on the 11 as he runs the top lane. He's going to gas it up. We saw about 190 by himself. I think this car is very draggy. Watch what the draft does right here. I imagine the last third of this straightaway, we're going to climb right through 190. I bet we could see 200. Let's see what kind of run he has. 195, so higher than he was by himself, but maybe just wasn't close enough or a little bit too old on tires as he's searching around as well. I will say with 6 to go in this stage, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, right?
Well, wait a minute. We got a lap car right here in front of the 5. That could become a challenge for this 5 car. This could present an opportunity for Denny. The 5's tight, aero balance. If he has to get in the wake of this lap car down here in turn 3, that's Casey Mears in the 62. That might present the 11 an opportunity to get side by side with Larson. Let's see what happens. Larson's got to go to the top of the track to stay out of the dirty air of the 62. Denny's going to go to the bottom. Now the 62 is going to slow down to 5. Here we are, side by side for the lead.
And listen to the crowd. So around here.
It's clear.
Denny Hamlin back to the lead. Say back to the lead. Started on the pole. He's leading for the first time today after Larson got the early advantage. 11 on point, getting it done late in the stage.
Larson just doesn't have the turn he needs to kind of take the fight back to him there on the inside of turn 1. Yeah.
Here's a 48 of Alex Bowman. They were right at the threshold of being able to pit under green. A little more than 15 seconds back from the leader. Brakes feel a little soft. Team isn't concerned. Things will be good once it heats up. They did an air pressure adjustment on that stop.
So Kim was talking about that 15 seconds. So as we see the leaders through turn 3, the 48 is going to be leaving pit road. We see right now crew chief of the 5. I saw a hand out the window. The 5 might be pitting. If not this time, I do believe he's going to pit. Let's just see how far the 48 comes out in front of these leaders. Now the concern is, even though the 48 has new tires, these old tires don't slow down a whole lot. So he's going to have to stay in front of these leaders for these final 4 laps. I would be shocked if Hamlin doesn't take the 10 points for winning the stage. But I've been shocked before. The whole top 10 are going to have to make a decision.
We'll get a lap
45 now on pit road, so he showed his hand. He's going to come down, service of his team, Trevor.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick made up 7 spots early on that first restart, but then faded back a couple of those Legacy Motor Club cars. He's been fighting a tight balance as well today. You'll see 4 tires and fuel go on this 45 to jump the stage.
All right, risk versus reward. So if you're Chris Gale right now, and you're crew chief of the 11, you know you want those 10 points, but everybody that's been on pit road will not pit at the end of the stage. So every one of these cars are a position you're going to lose. How much do you dare give up? And if you're the 5, or the 54, or the 19 that are also running inside the top 5, how important are points to you at this point in the season? You see top of your screen, upper right, we saw the bright yellow 2 of Citric come to pit road, Blaney on pit road. There's Blaney in that 12, the Ryan Newman car.
Yeah, for Blaney, it's definitely tight here, mostly in traffic neutral, though, through the tunnel, which is a good sign for him.
42 of John Hunter Nemechek, fighting a little bit free off of turn 3 on that right rear. A little bit too hard. We know how long that corner is and how easy it is to break these next-gen cars loose, Ken.
You see the racing right here between Byron and the 43. The leader will close pit road this time by, which means that he'll have the opportunity to pit if he so chooses. He stayed. All right, there you go. Stayed on the racetrack. So pit road's closed. So everybody who has pitted, that's it. It's everyone else. Now it's just a battle for points. So this position you see right now between Byron, Jones, Suarez, every position's a point.
Well, think too. I mean, I just go right there, 7th, 8th, and 9th in the running order, and where they are when you think about the chase standings. You know, Jones with that runner-up finish last week, only 18 below the cut line. Logano only a few points out. Byron's been bouncing around 10th, 11th, 12th. They all need him, and they're all going to get some here. And Hamlin in position to win the stage and get 10 more after coming in 51 points behind Tyler Reddick. Presented by Credit One Bank. Hamlin 2 seconds in front of Kyle Larson.
Last couple of laps, he's been almost 6 tenths faster than Larson, 6 tenths faster than his teammate Ty Gibbs. Denny running 54 flats. The rest of the field, 54 sevens and slower. Chris Buescher back there with a 54.5, the only car really within a half a second of Denny Hamlin right now. A half a second. It's amazing how fast this 11 car is. Deep into these runs, we see it every single week. This is the big advantage that this number 11 has, and they seem to get better with every stage. Yeah, they know how to stay in front of the adjustments, and you called it perfectly. You was so patient, let that Casey Mears lap car kind of check out the process, capitalized.
And Denny Hamlin won stage 1
of 2026. That leads.
We'll skip it and go to the green flag.
So he they're going to be in traffic, but you ready? I'm ready.
2 weeks left till NASCAR is moving back to TNT.
We value and you.
Take on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Get ready for non-stop action.
Oh, it's pretty!
Dream Fever. Thursday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's on Prime.
Let's get into our stage break. Brought to you by Snapdragon. Danielle Trotta alongside driver Corey LaJoy, driver of the 11. Denny Hamlin winning the first stage. And man, was he gapping the field there in the final laps of stage 1 by 7/10 of a second. 3 of the 4 Gibbs cars finishing stage 1 inside the top 5. So we're seeing those Gibbs Toyotas have blistering speed once again this week, Corey. But with Denny specifically, what is he doing so well?
Well, we noticed that the tire fall off of these right side tires was a little bit more than what we had seen in the previous years. And the 11 car only fell off 5 or 6 tenths, where meanwhile the field, be it the 5 guys outside the top 5, were falling off over a second. So Denny's able to his car is so comfortable, he has so much confidence here at Pocono. He's able to reshape his corners, but not just back the corner up when it goes slower. He's still driving it in the corner hard, pushing those Goodyear Eagles into the racetrack to make the grip that this car wants to make. So it's not anybody's game. It's the 11's race to lose right now, and he's restarting right outside the guys that flipped this stage, so we're going to see how fast he can get back to the front.
There were 6 drivers who did flip the stage. John Hunter Nemechek, Tyler Reddick, Zane Smith, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, Alex Bowman. What do you make of this strategy? You like it?
I love the move, one, because you were still in a position close enough in relevance to the leader of the 11 to be able to do this. So you're going to see guys like Reddick, guys like Ryan Blaney and Zane Smith to then retain that track position, to get themselves some stage points here in stage 2. I love the move of flipping the stage here.
Reddick wants to get some of those stage points here to keep that battle tight in points with Denny Hamlin. Our guy, Brad Keselowski, guest analyst this week, coming back for the post-race show. He started tail end Charlie. He's making up a lot of ground in that number 6 Ford. Finished stage 1 24th, now running 29th. Let's send it back upstairs to the booth for the start of stage 2 with Adam Alexander.
All right, thank you, Danielle. You guys talked about those drivers flipping the stage. So the race off pit road, sponsored by Goodyear, was actually for 7th in the running order. Denny Hamlin going to choose the outside lane here. And on the front row, it's going to be John Hunter Nemechek, Tyler Reddick. Opportunity for the 45 maybe to take charge of this field.
Remember, we talked, he's sponsored for 23 earlier today. We talked about how difficult it was.
Sigma's in the 26 GG with the holds. Stage 2, here we go. Shortstop number 26 GG with the holds.
Starts getting more and more aggressive. You see Riley Herbst jumping out there, making 3 wide. He's got Christopher Real pushing. Jason's going to block that.
Suarez getting aggressive. 3 wide inside. William Byron there. Chase Briscoe part of that mix.
Eric Jones on the outside. He's going to let Byron clear. 19 just to the outside of the 5 of Larson. That was a big move. That's going to cost Larson a lot of momentum down this short chute. He's losing multiple spots.
Outside of Nemechek. Right behind them, Zane Smith, another one of those drivers that flipped the stage.
It's one bit clean air, but Reddick's on the outside fighting, going to stay right there on the quarter panel. He's going to have him down the front straightaway. John Hunter's going to try to slow him down a little bit right here. Going to run and chase each other across the racetrack, trying to get into the side draft, trying to keep that side draft going. Reddick buries it down into turn 1. Backs up the center of the corner, allows the 42 of John Hunter to get back to the door. John Hunter better side draft a little bit here. Here comes Zane Smith. Who's he going to help? He lift early here. Trying to get a run on these guys coming off of this short chute. The 38 could have an opportunity to go 3 wide here. Not quite enough momentum. Oh, just about. He thought about it. Just a little bit too late down into turn 3. Around the outside, here comes the 12 of Blaney to the right rear quarter panel of the 38. The battle for the lead still rages. Side by side for
him out, yes! Oh no!
He's right there. Look at Blaney. Little crossover looking inside of those two Toyotas out front.
Now Zane back to the outside. Sort of the same thing that Zane
Just as a 485, whatever!
The racetrack just takes the line away. Jenny to the inside, Zane Smith down the back straightaway. Still side by side up front.
They will not let each other go for the lead.
Well, now there's a second groove developing in the tunnel. It's allowing that outside line to still be stubborn out here. At some point, you might just have to take the slide job, drive up the track to 42. John Hunter tries to do that, but Reddick's there. 42 has to jump out of the gas. Reddick with the spot.
Finally, all clear out front. Tyler Reddick takes control of the race, and here comes Blaney in that blue number 12.
And John Hunter got greedy in turn 3 and tried to drive across the track at 145 of lift. He ditched it. 45 of Reddick staying in the throttle.
This is the 41 Alex Wilson.
Quarter panel of John Hunter got tight on the turn 2. Big run for the 11 to Denny Hamlin down the back straightaway toward the tunnel turn. And he's going to go to the inside here.
Amazing what that loss of momentum will do for you. Two drivers have combined for 9 wins here, Hamlin and Blaney.
He's already hurt. Hamlin's already cut through about half of these guys.
Just another 41 Alex Wilson.
Zane Smith, Zane decided to push Blaney into the tunnel. I'm sure he's going to do the same down the front stretch. Push that fellow forward, and it will make a difference. Outside should have the momentum. Down into turn 1. Oh no, Zane's going to cross it over trying to get 2 for 1.
I love the 2 for 1 here. You get in the way, you use the momentum. Zane Smith pulls out of line, trying to make it happen. Around Blaney now side by side with Hamlin this for 3rd. And oh, there he goes.
Just pushing so hard there, trying to make something happen. Got a little bit loose. Car got out from under.
Giving the guys days rest. They are scheduled days rest most of the time. That's hammered down the line and off the scoreboard. Full count. You may think this is going to be a struggle for the lefties because the cutter is what he feels most comfortable about. Is trying to stay inside that pitch.
Drivers kicked it out, made a pit stop lap 42. Those guys restarted from 27 on back.
Going back to Queen.
Control cars, we go right here. Tyler Reddick outside
Wolf one, yes. Hold on, we got to look out. Oh no, it's a strikeout.
Reddick jumps in front of Nemechek to grab the top spot, slicing and dicing behind him. Blaney Elliott side by side for position.
Larson trying to rebound to get back to the front of the field.
Yeah, Larson hasn't moved as quickly as Hamlin has since the restart when they gave up that track position pitting at the end of stage 1. 5 car back there in the 7th spot.
Yeah, they struggled on the restart before this. Lost several spots at the bottom of the racetrack off turn 2, but he's sort of flatlined here, and Chase Elliott just getting a little clean air there underneath the car. Larson to the inside, a late dive bomb down into the tunnel. A little bit of a surprise for his teammate there, but Chase is going to clear on exit.
Hendrick Motorsports has been great at Pocono, won here 19 times. Got 3 cars in the top 7 today. So Elliott and Larson racing for 6th.
Car getting way up the racetrack there, down in turn 3 and 4. Oh, Zane is a 21 to the wall.
Oh no!
Of turn 3.
got to be kidding me. Brad Keselowski got to another DNF.
His car wouldn't allow her. They just kind of all, they know if you lift right there, you know, it's easy to say, but if you check up at that spot, you're losing 5 spots. I mean, you're the exit of turn 3 before the longest straightaway.
That's a great view. That Cheddar's onboard camera. As Austin Hill got aggressive coming off the turn, and I think about, too, the points implications here, because Shane Van Gisbergen, who won that race at Washington, went in and worked his way into the top 16, was in a pretty good spot. He's involved here. Joey Logano, who's had some productive weeks recently, was only 3 points below the chase cut line. He got some damage there, and now pit road is open. Let's go to Trevor.
45 with Tyler Reddick leading the race, comes down pit road. The call from Billy Scott is going to be to put 2 tires and fuel in this car. Tyler also saying it's a little bit loose and the bumps make it very empty.
He's going to have to do a really good job at that as first pitch strikes and also locating at first pitch. These twins get aggressive.
Lifted toward left, long run, Newt Bar still coming to...
Got it, yes!
Today in the Menard starting lineup, Buxton has had an incredibly destructive series. Cody Clemens, not too shabby either. Then it's Royce Lewis, Josh Bell, Victor Caratini. Then the youngsters, Brooks Lee, Tristan Gray, Luke Keeschel for Derek Shelton's Twins. Buxton 5 for 7 with a couple of homers. And he launches that one into the left field corner. First pitch. He's on his way to second. It's a sliding double. Cardinals might want to think about bouncing one to Buxton. He has swung at the first pitch almost every trip to the plate in the series, and that's his 6th hit.
Chippy's been so good that you're surprised that he swings and misses at times. Only a couple times he's done that, but he's been ultra aggressive on that first pitch. It's a 2-seamer, mislocation by Michael McGreevy, but this is a hot hitter. Feels like he can hit any pitch at any time.
So first chance for the Twins with a man in scoring position is Cody Clemens. The former Texas Longhorn, 10 homers, 25 driven in. And that a little low. Look at what Buxton has done to the Cardinals.
25 Byron Buxton.
Including a game with 3 extra base hits. He's got 75 games in his career with 2 or more extra base hits. And he's on his way to the All-Star game. When he's healthy, he is awesome.
Yeah, just plays at
what you listen to Cody Clemens.
So many times of how he hustles around the field. Also defensively, he is very good in center. Yesterday, the DH. Today, he's back in his comfortable spot.
So Clemens ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Cody hit a home run against the Cardinals. He's also knocked in 3 runs in the series. The Twins hit the road. They go to Texas and Arizona after today's play. We're home for 3 with San Diego starting tomorrow night. That's off the mask of Ivan Herrera. McGreevy, when he's right, gets the ball on the ground a lot. That is going to be a key in this game. The Cardinals scheduled rest for Mason Wynn, scheduled rest for Alec Burleson. Defensively, it's a totally different infield alignment for the Cardinals, including J.J. Weatherholt at shortstop for the very first time in the big leagues. So Blaze Jordan is at first. Brian Torres at second, Weatherholt at short, where he played in college, and Jose Fermin handles the hot corner today.
Yeah, for Michael McGreevy, it's going to be important for him to utilize the Cardinals' defense. Now, the Toyota key to the game today is trust your defense. You mentioned the changes. JJ at shortstop.
First chance to the right side, and Torres...
Got him, yes!
You can see that up their ante right there. When he's good, he's getting the ball on the ground.
So runner at third for Royce Lewis. Lewis, another Twins hitter we haven't figured out yet. He's just back from a stint at AAA where they're teaching him how to play first base, and they've got his bat going. He's reached base in all 6 games, Mark, since his return. It looks like the kind of player they drafted, 1-1 overall.
Yeah, and you also wonder the philosophies too, Chip, to your point. Do you pitch around guys? It's not really done a lot in the game of baseball, but you got to pick your spots, especially with those hot hitters.
Way outside. Good stop, Herrera. Got to knock that down with Buxton's speed 90 feet away.
It's the chemistry of Ivan Herrera and Michael McGreevy. They've been good. They get on the right point. They execute their game plan.
Got 2 bases open. You've got Josh Bell on deck. He's a switch hitter. Lewis is hot, 4 for 7 in the series. A couple of bombs. And he's ahead in the count, 2-0. Three balls, no strikes. And that caught the corner. Lewis thought about a challenge.
Yeah, this first inning, they have had a lot of look-backs back at Jen Powell. There's been challenges already, borderline pitches. They're wondering if they're in or out of the strike zone.
That one's center cut. So it's 3-2. Greavy trying to come back and keep Buxton 90 feet away and send us to the second inning with Bell waiting on deck. Outfield straightaway. Lewis played to pull on the infield. Greavy sets and fires, and that's outside, ball 4. Something else that's difficult when you're working with this umpiring crew that came into play last night. They take a while to let you know whether the pitch is a strike or not.
Yeah, especially sometimes they'll actually indicate to the hitter that it's a strike, and then they'll indicate with their body language of what it really is. Yesterday, Adam Beck took a long time to call that strike, and it really came into play, and that's the reason why Ollie Marmol was thrown from the game yesterday.
No swing, one ball.
Just we did not go.
Leads the Twins with 40 RBIs. 1 for 5 is
Das
he
ist
in
der
the series.
56 Josh Bell.
It's kind of funny when you talk about umpires as the pitch is low and they try to encourage a throw to second. Lewis stopped about 20 feet away from the bag, and Herrera wisely held on. So second and third here with 2 out.
Well, first and third, and they take advantage of the situation. See Royce Lewis jack on the brakes and then eases his way into second base for his 4th stolen base of the year.
That's low. 3-0 your count. Bill Klebb, great umpires, the man credited with inventing signals to signify balls or strikes. And he did it so the fans could see what was being called. That's the whole point. But if you keep it a secret from the fans and the TV folks, it's a real guessing game and can lead to, as you said, the confrontation we had in Game 2.
I like when Ollie gets emotional, and it's, it probably was the previous night where it was a frustrating loss. It was a situation early in the game that indicated the argument.
3-1 pitch on the ground. Torres backhand sets.
Got him, yes! Green flag, let's go!
All the cars single file on the back there. On a penalty from when they last came to pit road.
or 5 spots given up. The 19 of Briscoe now side by side with Jones for second. Big move out of Chastain.
Ross Chastain, very identifiable, and that #1 green Chevrolet getting aggressive. The contact as they come across the tunnel.
You and I saw the same wreck happening right there.
Was squeezed in a sandwich right there.
Rewind again. There's just no messing around.
Oh, a little contact there with Ty Gibbs and the 2 of Cedric.
Gibbs trying to come back after they had that long pit stop. Ryan Blaney right there with that group. The whole field continues to get shuffled based on the strategy that you were playing. So there's a lot of give and take, but it's all take on these restarts.
Chase going around the outside of Cole. Custer, Denny wanted to do that as well. A little bit of a bobble for that 11 car. He's going to get a push from his, I'd say his teammate, car he owns, Tyler Reddick.
Employee.
Yeah. It's going to send him to the inside of Cole Custer. Chase around Priest. Priest drives across the nose of the 11. That'll stall him out just momentarily with this 41 car.
Reddick gave him 1 shot. He's not going to give him a second. That's going to fall that 41 in.
Teammates right here, HMS, the 5 and 24. Larson Byron side by side. Byron's going to take it. Larson just struggling, trying to move forward here.
You know, Larson and Byron both were part of that group that came down in lap 48. Best driver on that cycle, though, is their teammate Chase Elliott, who's up there in the 8th.
Whitefield to the lead, Schwartz Walker.
But you want to make sure you are leading your group on your particular strategy.
Yeah, if you're a fan of one of these drivers that's no longer at the front, you're wondering if their decision to pitch going to work out. Don't feel alone. I'm wondering as well. It's really going to be how this race runs, how this next 41 laps of this stage run. Do we get a caution? Do we not? Right now, I expect everyone in the field near the front.
Whitefield to the 21 lost to 5.
How long are their stops to be will determine the success of this strategy. Right now, though, I gotta hand it to the 42 of Nemechek sticking to their plan, and they're controlling this race.
Austin Cedric thinking about 3 wide. Ty Gibbs was ready for that.
Cedric's one here in an O'Reilly car. Dancing behind Austin Dillon, 354 Ty Gibbs.
Back 3 apart against like 7.
Battle for 16.
Do we please Schwartz?
We talked a lot in the pre-race. Remember that gas from last weekend that was up rest? Remember that huge hit a week ago? Seems like I haven't read anything on the radio, no real report. So I'm going to say that currently running 21st, but staying behind the wheel. Appropriate risk. Unbelievable.
Let's go back to last week in Michigan. Restart, 20th position to have a great day. And collected when
What's this?
the
What do we
nine had to get away
please?
from
What's
Chase Elliott into the 20. Such a hard hit, Dale.
Yeah, the hardest one in the next gen era. Definitely top 5 in the history of the sport right there. Oh, and amazing this young man was able to get out of the car, much less be here this weekend racing with us. So they worked really hard to get him as comfortable as possible with the cast on his arm. And had to get new gloves made from the left hand. And then they will cut his gas off on Monday to do another on it to allow him to do road course races because he needs to be able to turn right to the road courses, and he's not really able to do that with the current cast that he has on his hand right now. He told me they may replace this cast every week and re-x-ray his hand just to see how the progress is going, Marty.
Yeah, Junior Steve was reading it. I've been listening to Christopher Bell, not one word about his wrist, which is kind of what Adam Stevens predicted before the race, Stevens, that Bell did not have one complaint about how it was in practice, how he felt after practice either. So far, so good for the driver of the 20.
Larson was able to get around his teammate Byron, but now he's lost that position back. And here is the 12 of Larson trying to take a spot away. Gibbs got an opportunity here. He's going to push the 5 through. Walks the outside line through the tunnel.
If you think back to the first stage with the 5 had control of the race, he got too tight leading, which is a real concern because back here, that characteristic's only going to get worse with all the dirty air.
in 2008, slides into position. Austin Dillon crossing it over. Outrunning John Hunter Nemechek in the lead.
Bet you can't run as fast as T-Mobile. Bet you I can.
Official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies. We've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Cardinals, the official source for your Cardinals gear. There are a lot of Cardinals fans here at Target Field. Why not? It is a gorgeous day. No roof here. We're not in the Metrodome anymore. And no chance for the air conditioning to be blown in when the visitors hit.
What was the guy that said no smoking at the Metrodome? What was his name? Do you remember?
Oh, Bob Casey. Bob Casey, that's right. Bob Casey was that man.
Someone told me to listen for him when I first got in the Metrodome, and all of a sudden, now smoking at the Metrodome.
That's a sinking shot to second.
Got him, yes!
Introduction. Rolled out the R's. Kirby Puckett.
I love that aspect of the game, and the announcers being able to really understand how much history there's involved.
Brooks Lee, your batter, with one out. And he lifts this one high in the air. Shortstop J.J. Weatherholt drifts out. Nick Barber shields his out.
Got him, yes!
Check out Prime's exclusive in-race feature key moments during the broadcast by clicking up on your remote. It's the easiest way to catch up on race highlights and flag changes as they happen. And if you're ever late to NASCAR on Prime, we've got you covered with rapid recaps where you can see all key race moments in 2 minutes or less. John Hunter Nemechek celebrated his 29th birthday this week, and he's leading here in Pocono, Trevor Bain.
Yes, sir, Adam. John Hunter Nemechek also came into this race weekly and having led 21 laps over the last 2 seasons. Today, he's going to cross the lead lap number 18. What a confidence booster it is for this young man. I talked to crew chief Travis Mack earlier because if you watch these Legacy Motor Club cars, they always run right together, whether it's 25th or right now if it's first and third. Travis contributes a lot of that to the work being done at the shop, but also his relationship with Justin Alexander, the crew chief on the 43 of Eric Jones. They work together in some capacity back to their Hendrick days 20 years ago. I know you guys know the importance of those crew chiefs getting along, Marty.
Trevor checked in with Chris Gale, the crew chief for Denny, Hamlin, who's trying to track down Chase Elliott to be the leader of those on that lap 48 pitting strategy. Steve, I asked Chris Gale, I said, hitting at that point, can you make it to the end of the stage? He said, if it goes green, likely not, but I can flip it, and also I can pit with everybody else, and then my stop would be much quicker than everybody else. But Steve, I'm not sure any of these drivers and teams are planning on trying to make it all the way to the end of stage 2. What would that be?
Well, I believe if you stay out at the end of, and score points at the end of stage 2, I just think you're going to be bypassed by so many cars that have been under green that your chance of winning the race is basically gone. Now, there are cars, I look at Ricky Stenhouse back at 25th, Gilliland at 27th, they topped off, and for them, if they can stay out of 4 stage points, you know, I don't think that's a bad day. They were making something of a day that currently isn't the best, but I think everybody is looking at a green flag pit stop. The question is when? Do you fill it up? How long do you sit there? Maybe you just see what they all do. That's assuming it runs green, right? You've got 32 laps to go. So yellow would throw a kind of a
issue that everybody's playing. Larson around the 54 Gibbs. Pretty interesting to see that. Gibbs one of the better cars in the first part of this race. Giving up the spot right there to the 5-car Larson. Larson's not really moving forward as well as, say, Byron, for example. Byron's able to go up there past Custer and Priest, moving himself into the 11th position. Right behind McDowell to take a spot to get inside of the top 10. Hamlin's moving forward around Reddick in the 8th. So all these cars trying to figure out, Chase just takes a spot away from Suarez here as they're battling side by side.
You reference Suarez, it's really interesting to look at the team makeup in the top 10 right now. And you put an asterisk on everything because as we've talked, there's a lot of different strategies out there and things will continue to settle out as the day goes along. But Team Spire, we got all 3 of their Chevys inside the top 10. Impressive at this stage of the game.
And Suarez is really the car that's struggling right here. Look at this 9 car flying around the top of the racetrack. Carry that momentum around the 7. They were side by side for probably the last 3 or 4 laps trying to battle for this position, and finally Suarez, I think, gives it up to Chase.
God, yes.
On all 3 of these cars. Like this 24 car. How they be able to get through traffic here, Steve. 60 years. Shows me that this 24's got some good handle. Haven't seen that out of some other cars, and I thought it would be good today. Larson, they got a little work to do, but the 24, the 9, maybe those guys can get up there and compete once all this cycle, these teams sort of cycle around through their strategies. I agree. The 9 and the 24, the Hendrick camp has closed the gap to the Toyotas, in my opinion, at this point, at this racetrack, right? The 9 and the 24 are kind of in the last. So if you look on the left side, look at last pit, right? Look at who is at the front of each number. So Elliott was last on 17, so he's the leader of that group. We have John Hunter kind of on his own situation, which is fine. Briscoe leading that last on lap 33 group. And that's the best way to look at it. You mentioned it, Adam. We'll figure out which game of leapfrog is the best to be on, but you definitely want to be the lead of that group regardless.
Don't put $100 on one guy. Put like 25, 25, 25, 20, spread it out, right? Scan the QR code to shop Logitech G's newest products and hottest deals. Logitech G, the official wheel and pedal of NASCAR.
The race where it's really easy as a crew chief, you can kind of get a little lost or lose focus on what you need to do while you're trying to guess what others are going to do. As a driver, I just have to be really clear, Dale, right? Am I looking for full pace? Am I looking for save? How's our car driving? We've heard from our pit road reporters that the temperature is cool the last 5 or 10 degrees over the last 20 or 30 minutes. So all of that's going to affect how these cars handle. There's the 9 going by Chastain, continue to march through the field. He finally was able to get to the inside of the 1 down into turn 1 and take the pass away, and now Denny will try to close that gap. The 1's going to get a little, arrow tight or just lose a little bit of performance this close to the 9 car, and that should give the 11 of Denny Hamlin an opportunity to strike. Marty.
Bill, we've seen Daniel Suarez lose a couple of spots in the last few laps, battling the handling in the 7 car, also battling a cool suit that is not working. Listen to the radio.
I don't think it's working. Let's just go ahead and turn that switch off. But remember, your screen will go black for a few minutes, or a few seconds, excuse me.
So listen with him, see Jose for me.
Yes, it is getting cooler here at Pocono, but even on a cool day, is a cool shirt that's not working a hindrance to a driver.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit warmer. That's some pretty thick material that those shirts are made out of, and if that fluid's not cooling, it's getting warmer like everything else. So it's adding temperature to your core, and it'll just make for a long day. It might be something you can fix inside the car. If not,
Something was 27 days to church.
Everybody's going to make a pit stop. You need to check lead in the air at Pocono.
Nathan 1 for 6 in the series. He'll try to break the spell of Taj Bradley. 5th round pick in 2018 by Tampa Bay. They traded into the Twins for Griffin Jacks. He's out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. And Redan High School, that's long been a powerhouse high school baseball program in Metro Atlanta. Well, they've had some great players come out of the state of Georgia. Cardinals have one, too, and Jordan Walker, he grew up in Decatur, Georgia, about 10 miles away from Stone Mountain, if you're familiar with that part of Metro Atlanta.
Yeah, that's a hotbed. So many players coming out of there.
2 quick strikes. And that does break the scrub.
Yes! Sigmason, shortstop number 26, Chief with the hoops.
Pitch tracks will show this one. It just stays up. When that split finger stays up, it maintains velocity, but it's easy to adjust to. And Nathan Church with that single.
So there goes the no-hitter. And J.J. Weatherholt is up. He took strike 3. J.J. playing shortstop today. Hasn't handled a defensive chance yet. And he's down a strike. JJ's on a nice, solid run for the Cardinals. Last 10 games, 5 multi-hit affairs. He's made all the plays at second base. Scheduled day off for Mason Wynn in the field today. Good chance you'll see him back out there against the Padres. This one on the ground is second. It caught the lip. There's no trouble for Keishel. And Taj Bradley is through 3 scoreless innings.
The Stars and Stripes kick off today's World Cup action as Pulisic leads the U.S. against Australia. Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
NASCAR fans, the time is now to turn your love of racing into free tickets, merchandise, VIP experiences, and much, much more. Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards loyalty program today at NASCAR.com/fanrewards.
72 laps complete. Nemechek, Briscoe, Jones, the top 3 in Pocono. And now we look at our Burn Bar presented by Red Bull.
We talk about fuel mileage and basically how you calculate it and what's important. Well, let's talk about miles per gallon. You see the guys here in the front getting just over 5 miles per gallon. We expect that to be about average. Around 5 miles a gallon is good fuel here. I believe most of the cars out front here are going to pit under green. But if we go back and look far enough, the 47 of Stenhouse topped off at lap 51. I believe, reading the radios, that he's going to try to stretch it all the way to the end of the stage. So if we look at the comparison on the burn bar, right, we have just over 5 miles a gallon on the 9 of Chase Elliott, where we're getting almost 6 miles a gallon on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. At 6 miles per gallon, I believe he's going to make it all the way to the end of the stage and get those 10 points. You talk about making something out of his day. Right, 10 points for the 47 car who's run most of the day outside the top 20 can be a big difference. When they get on that plane to go home, they're going to see a little bit more reward for their efforts here, folks.
A race like this can be the land of opportunity. Chase Elliott trying to take advantage, driving to the inside of Aaron Jones. Talked about him, 9. Got a really good race car. And everybody John Hunter Nemechek. Led 29 laps today. That's the most in his career in a race. Marty?
Adam, 1 lap ago, Denny Hamlin came on the radio, very short communication, said, quote, "Something feels funny." The crew immediately jumped into action, and then Chris Lambert told Denny, "Listen, if you could buy us 4 more laps, that would really help us to get into our fuel window." Oddly enough, a few more laps before that, his teammate Chase Briscoe, too, said he had a small vibration on the 19th, so we're going to watch this 11.
Yeah, I was watching him after he made that comment and drove around the 77 and posted ours. The lap time on the 11 car, very respectable. 54 flat, comparable to Chase Elliott, so he's not slow by any means. Just maybe feeling a little bit of an oddity on this set of tires. We also heard from drivers talking about how the chunks of sealer are coming up out of the racetrack, out of the cracks on this racetrack, particularly down in turn 3 and 4. They have picked up some of that stuff on the tire, and they take a few laps to clean that off and get that away. And all of these guys are trying to get with that fuel window that Marty's talking about.
Got him, yes!
So they need to run a couple more road will start to get busy. Now, I don't think everybody's going to come at the same time like we have seen in other areas, but I do think you're going to see a wave. And here you go. First car to hit pit road, the 7th of Suarez, who was just inside the top 5. Well, last behind him, Chastain with the front tires locked up. Be interested to see if he got down to pit road speed. Trevor, that one smoked the tires.
The one car on Ross Chastain getting tired there. No rear bite. He's going to come in and start this pit cycle.
Daniel Suarez on pit road. He said the car was too free during that run. They are going to wait on fuel, so they're waiting on Ryan Sparks to tell him when he can go back out. And we talked about the Hamlin vibrations. Hamlin feeling funny in the car in the 19, saying he had vibration parts. And Hocevar also said a moment ago, I'm worried about my right front. They too asked him to go a little bit longer to get us to our window.
Watch that hit time, 12 seconds for the 7. Remember, they can do 9-second pit stops pretty easy, but you can only get about 14 gallons of gas in. Some teams need much more than that, the 42 being absolutely one of them. He's going to need nearly a full 20 gallons of Sunoco fuel when he comes to pit road. So this could change up the running order just because of the time. Now for the 42, it's going to seem counterintuitive, but if you're ever going to have a long stop, under green is the time. Because 4 seconds up the straightaway is only back to maybe the 90. Where 4 seconds under yellow could be 20 spots. Let's see if the 42 comes this time. I mentioned the one off of the front tires. He was clean green per NASCAR. No penalty on the one, so nice job by Ross Chastain getting to pit road. 42 stays on the racetrack with the 19 of Briscoe decides to peel off. Nice clean pit road entry. We'll see how long this car has to sit on pit road. He was last on pit road in the 33 lap range. So, Mario, I expect the 19 might have to wait on fuel a little bit.
Yes, they are. 4 to 5 seconds. They just told him a moment ago, Steve. You see Carson Hocevar coming down pit road as well. We'll get an eyeball on that right front for Hocevar. Briscoe's been pretty happy with the handling of the car. Just needs a little bit better track condition. But they are going to wait on fuel here for the defending winner here at Pocono, the 19. Meanwhile, for the 77, Carson Hocevar said, free through turn 1 for Hocevar.
You see that play for the 19. That literally, the tire changer waited on the gas man. Like, we think it's all about changing tires. It was all about the gas man. They didn't want him to unplug any sooner than he needed to. Now we start to see a little bit of a trickle of other cars coming to pit road. We have the 48 of Bowman there. Now the leader, the 42 of Nemechek on pit road in front of you, Trevor.
John Nemechek heading from those 33 laps led so far. He was really happy with his win early in the run, but later he felt like he slid in the right rear and was giving up some time to the 19. They are going to wait on fuel here to set themselves up later, Steve.
Once again, you watch the rear tire changer wait on the gas man. This is all going to be about gas in the car. Clear nod from the gas man saying he sees the fuel in the vent. They want these cars completely full at this point.
Talk about those top 3. Nemechek, who's out in front of Jones and Briscoe. Briscoe had made the pit stop. Here comes the 19 as the 42 makes his exit.
No surprise here. The 42 needed more fuel than the 19, but did a really good job only losing that much track position, right? One position on racetrack, it might cost him 2 or 3 as the cycle continues. The other legacy car now in front of Trevor.
Justin Alexander has called his 43 car, Barrett Jones, to pit road. They'll be waiting on fuel as well. Barrett Jones is a little tight here in that run, hoping for an air pressure adjustment to get his balance back.
Scheduled green flag pit stops. 16 laps to go, stage 2. The top 3 have peeled off. They all wait on fuel. And now we'll watch as the 43 rejoins the field.
Yeah, this one I think also will go to the 19 car, although it will be closer than the 42. He's going to fire out the pipes. He's on the gas. He's upshifting, but the momentum of the 19 is going to carry him by. But where will the 43 blend with the 42? I think the 42 is going to get him as well with momentum. Let's see. It's going to be close. I think the 42 is going to be behind him. So 43 of Jones leapfrogs his teammate. Once again, though, they were on split strategies. Now they're together. Right, so now these 2 different plans have merged.
Got him, yes!
For the win. I like the strategy these guys are on. Elliott, Hamlin, and Byron. I believe these guys should cycle out in front of Briscoe go, the 42 and the 43. So who does it better as we're on board with the 16 of Allmendinger, the Celsius on board camera?
Yeah, the 16 of AJ Allmendinger, just bad in traffic was the call from Ben, looking for a little bit more on that race car.
AJ Allmendinger, top 20 runs last week at Michigan. Tremendous anticipation for he and his race team the next couple of weeks as we head to race at Naval Base Coronado, street race next weekend in San Diego, and in 2 weeks' time at Sonoma. Chase Elliott is taking over the race lead. He, Hamlin, Byron, and Reddick all made their last pit stop at lap 48.
Chase been a little bit quicker than Denny for most of this run. That last lap, though, Denny's almost a tenth and a half faster. Chase right here, Denny's about a second behind this 9 car. You see off the side of the frame there, and then William Byron in the 24 back there running equal lap times as well.
Side by side as we go to break. 14 to go in the state of Pocono.
Right, ABS powered by T-Mobile, he is. Well, I think a lot of teams take in consideration of being very timid about challenging calls early in games. Try to keep them where the game is very important. This is a huge at-bat. And with a hot hitter up, you need to make sure you get every strike you can. Lewis had a torrid series, 4 for 7, 3 RBIs, 3 homers in his last 6 games. So he figured out what was ailing him at the plate. As McGreevy sets with runners at the corners. Good stop. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's been well documented that Guerrero will have trouble throwing out base runners. What has been really impressive to this point, no errors and no pass balls behind the plate.
Yeah, his receiving skills have been an uptick. Obviously, exactly what you said. This isn't a running situation with Lewis and how well he has done this series. I think if Clemens takes second base, I think the Cardinals would pitch differently to Lewis in this situation.
Twins are making McGreevy work. He's already at 50 pitches. 1 ball, 1 strike. All the offense in this series, both bullpens have been used a lot. Yesterday, the Cardinals used 5 relievers. They used 3 in the first game. Cardinal starters have not gone past 5 innings yet in this set. Lifted to right. Walker retreats, but he's going to have room. Still backpedaling.
Got it, yes!
Coverage brought to you by Goodyear, born on the track, built for the streets. 11 laps to go, stage 2 in Pocono. This is a good battle for these drivers that were out front, made their scheduled green flag pit stop, racing for 20th now. Briscoe, Jones, Nemechek all right there.
And I'm expecting the 9 and 11 to jump these guys on the pit cycle. We're going to have to wait and see how long their stops are, because this also could be, if it's not the lead, it's going to be in the top 5 or 6 when this all cycles around. You see the 11 and the 9 continue to battle. McDowell has come to pit road. I think Gilliland has now moved himself in position as the highest up car that I think has a chance to make it on fuel. We'll see if that happens. Trevor.
Michael McDowell coming down pit road. He's going to go on the jack. They're going to slow this jack up and wait for Travis to drop it. What's fuel is full here, guys.
Good run of the race here in stage 2 with all 3 of those Spire Chevys inside the top about 10. Michael McDowell exits the pit lane after making his scheduled stop with 10 to go on the stage.
Chase Elliott would say to his team that he needs a little bit of help on the balance of this race car. As we get deeper into the run, the 11 car, Denny Hamlin just seems to be a little bit better. Denny, can he get to the top of the racetrack over here? Can't quite put a run together through turns 1 and 2. Ran down this time. Chase Elliott.
Now we do our burn bar presented by Red Bull.
Trying to see who's the standout on the left side of your screen. Miles per gallon is what we're looking at. A high number would be an indication of somebody trying something. So I keep talking about Gillen back there in 14th, but how about Cindric or Buscher? They're up in the mid to high fives.
Do
something we didn't expect. Maybe they're going to try to steal some stage points here with 9 more laps to go. Bottom of the screen. There's Buscher in the 17.
Doesn't do the 41, Alex Wilson.
Takes a spot away, back into the lead through the 11 team. Now, if I'm the 9, I would jump to pit road here. Right, like maybe 1 lap pressure tire, just something. Obviously, the 11's making more time than you. You're well inside the fuel window. You get enough fuel in it at this point. Only 73 laps to go in the race. See what Alan Gustafson does.
Oh,
faster.
Hold run! Yes!
Chase Elliott's entire career. Chase knows Alan's going to be looking at the 9 run at the bottom. We'll see if that's to get the pit road or just try to get the clean air. It looks to me just clean air at this point as he'll chase the 11 down again.
7 to go, stage 2.
And you know, when you think it, you're just going to be careful with track size. You're like, oh, 7 to go. That's a 2.5-mile track. So 7 laps is still a very, very, very long way as we now see the 60th Priest come down pit road. Trevor.
Wakefield to the 18, Sworden Walker.
You're going to see them wait on the fuel as well. 4 tires for Ryan Priest.
So let's see what they do when they let the jack down. They do. They don't really wait much. So that right there, you go with the thermal onboard camera of Ryan Priest looking back at the driver. So to Trevor's point about waiting on fuel, there is also the idea that you have the tire changer run around the gas man. That's also like in theory a different play. Like these teams have maybe 3 or 4 plays that look normal, but there's some nuance about who's priority at the back of the field. And that kind of shows the hand because he was a lap 48 guy. That tells me that Hamlin, Elliott, Myron, they are not going to be on those pit roads long as those legacy cars were.
Here's Kyle Larson.
If I'm Kyle Larson, starting out the race earlier, a little bit tight, but they've over-adjusted. They feel like they're on the other side of it now. Loose on exits. They're going to come down now, get their fuel and tires. Tim?
This right here might be everything the 11 and the 9 need to say. You see the 5 waiting a little bit on gas. The 11 of Denny Hamlin, the 9.
What feels is what you want, dude's car.
11, maybe a car length, but I'll admit Denny Hamlin did a really nice job on pit road. Now pit crews. Not really tire changes, Kim. This should be how good the fuel man can get the gas in the car.
And Chase Elliott's pit crew has been one of the best all year long. As soon as the teammate Kyle Larson came down, that's when Alan Gustafson called him down and said, pick this time 4 fresh Goodyear tires. No complaints over Chase Elliott. No complaints about the handling party.
Long run pace of the 11 just exceptional here at Pocono today. Nothing for Denny Hamlin since he said something feels funny. Kenneth Purcell, the fueler, will get the nod when they are fuel coming. It's the nod. Keeps that lead over Chase Elliott at the pit road.
And on the racetrack, the legacy cars, including Chase Briscoe, use those fresher tires to absolutely jump in front of these guys. So the pit stops much quicker on these 2 cars. 2.5 to 3 seconds kind of comparing as a general. But look at this, Briscoe, the 42, the 43, already in the tunnel turn. So they use those fresher tires. Now the problem these 3 have is in 5 laps, we're going to get the green and white checker. The field's going to be bunched up. They're going to have a hard time holding off those fresher tires. But great pit calls, great pit work by Legacy, giving their guys a chance. Kim.
And Ryan Blaney coming to make his stop on pit road. Already to the left side, those 4 fresh tires going on. It's a little tight in 1, but turn 3 is better than the last run. 54 of Ty Gibbs. They've done a great job of rebounding after an early mishap on their pit stop. You see him waiting on fuel, just needs a little bit better entry.
Now the real question is, who's not going to pit? 4 to go. Cindric, Bell, Gilliland, Wallace. Gilliland, I believe, is trying to stretch it. Is Cindric or Bell going to try to steal some stage points? 4 laps, 10 miles. I mean, that's a long ways to go. And remember, after you see the green and white checker, you got to coast around, pick up the pace car, run another caution lap. You don't want to run out under caution.
Two's coming to pit road right here. They'll do it with 3 to go on the stage. 20's going to follow him on pit road as well. Bell gives up position. Here's Kim Kuhn.
And we'll watch Austin Cindric's stop. Didn't really have many complaints. He didn't know he fired off well earlier. He was firing up a little snug, so they alleviating that problem. They will take a second can. You see that second can going into and waiting on fuel.
You see Christopher Bell, Kim, coming down pit road. Now remember, Bell has really run from about 15th to 25th all day long. So we'll see the strategy where it nets out this 20 car. Bell said I need to be tighter all the way around. So let's see if he gets to the on fuel.
We'll update the running order as we see it at the end of this stage. Now the big question, Dale, is Gillen, does he have enough fuel or enough speed?
And Briscoe just got around the 47 of Stenhouse. So does Nemechek. Jones will do that as well. Right here off the screen. So the 19 coming to 2 laps to go. Going to try to run down this 34.
Think about Briscoe and the slow start to the year points-wise for this 19 team. He's currently in the chase, right? Came in the 13th position. But we've all said, we've heard the crew chief say, to have a great chance, you think you want to be up inside that top 5 or top 6 in points at the reset. This would be a huge points bonus if Briscoe could win this stage.
2.5 seconds back. He was about 8 tenths quicker that lap.
I think Gillen was saving a little gas because he just picked up some pace, right? He was in the 55, so Gillen now sees in his mirror or in his rear view camera the gap, and he has to manage it now for a lap and a half.
So you talk about the points that Briscoe able to finish 4th in that opening stage and in position here to pounce once again in that regard, helping his positioning when it comes to the chase standings. Todd Gillen leading the stage. And we're going to see 1 lap to go this time around, sponsored by Credit One Bank Stage 2. 34 in front of Briscoe by 2.4 seconds.
Yeah, he picks it up again. Steve Gillen runs a 54.20. Briscoe 7 tenths back at a 53.50. It's not going to be enough, only a 1.5 seconds back.
Yeah, great call by Chris Lawson on the box for this 34 car, trying to give him driver an opportunity for highlighting the day. Like, these guys spend so much time, 20th, 25th, 27th. You know, with 10 stage points, he's only scored 19 stage points all year. So to score 10 stage points is just a monster day for this 34 car. And the back half of the field, they're going to have to pit anyway, right? There's a bunch that are going to come get tires.
Todd Gillen runs it long. Going to pick up a stage victory. It was the first of his career. Briscoe plays the strategy. They executed quite well. Second on stage. Great stage points day for him. Same.
Two balls, no strikes. That popped the glove of Herrera on the way by. We'll see a 2-1 count. So your first trip to Target Field, what do you think?
I love it, especially for the offense of the Cardinals. Hitter friendly. Beautiful ballpark.
That one in the air to right center, not hard hit, but that'll find a big patch of green grass. Spells aboard with his first hit of the day and his second hit of the series. And hey, Barbie, it's Barbie Game Day, June 25th, when the Cardinals face the Diamondbacks. Fans with a theme ticket take home an exclusive Barbie and Cardinals sequin cap. Get your details at cardinals.com/theme. It's Barbie Day today here in Minnesota. They've got the Hawaiian shirts working with the Barbie logo. Caratini unloads.
Oh no.
Back on the first pitch. Minnesota. With the slipstream to right, you are going to have a lot of fun. And that's just what Victor did.
Yeah, cut fastball doesn't cut off the plate. Stays there, and they are aggressive on first pitch. That's the second home run for Victor Caratini on the first pitch.
So Minnesota has its first lead. It's a 2-1 score. They've out-hit the Cardinals 5-2 today. Here's Brooks Lee. Lee flied out his first time. We can understand why the Twins want to get after it early in the count. It becomes a guessing game with 2 strikes from McGreevy, even though Michael doesn't strike many out. That's to second.
Got him, yes!
Yeah, and talking to Derek Shelton, the Twins manager, before the game, he loves his position players. They grind out at bats. Very similar to the Cardinals. When they get punched at, they punch back, and they've done that this series.
21st homer in the last 10 games for Minnesota. Mr. Gray had a home run cut. That's off to our left. No balls and a strike.
The first pitch swings today. You see St. Louis 28%. Minnesota. Hey, you got to go on attack. That sometimes is the best pitch you're going to get all at bat.
They'll try to keep Gray honest. 1 ball, 1 strike. Michael McGreevy pitches, you never know if he's leading or trailing.
Yeah, great composure. Slaps his chest just to make sure he's ready in the moment. And when he talked about in our pregame show today about how he feels it doesn't matter. He preps for if he has all of his stuff or he doesn't have a certain amount of pitches. He just understands how he has to execute if he doesn't have a feel for certain pitches.
Lifted toward left again. Loupard.
Got him, yes!
Luke fly to center his first time up. That's, I think, a great trade, too. Michael's still in the very early stages of what we hope to be a long major league career. The ability to...
C'est with the Luke Kirschall.
Pitch by pitch for him at this age, I think that's really impressive.
Yeah, and it is, especially at an early age. And Michael McGreevy had to...
To right, Walker in...
Got him, yes!
Total garbage. That's a
2-1 Twins over the Cardinals. Blaze Jordan leads things off, guys. I found a really cool story.
Was missing between we Blaze Jordan?
He met him when he was 14 years old. We're going to show you a photo of the two together. Blaze was out in California for a baseball tournament. His travel coach, Tim Doolin, connected these two, and so they're at USC taking this photo together. And then you fast forward, and Blaze's first big league game, well, I guess it's actually, you go back in time, his first big league game he ever went to, Game 3 of the 2011 World Series, where Albert Pujols casually hit 3 home runs in the game, guys. So Blaze Jordan's favorite player is Albert Pujols. Chip.
That's a pretty good choice, wouldn't you say? Yeah, grounds out to short. And that kicks off the 5th inning.
It probably cements your relationship with...
Segment between we points was...
Great home run game, I should say. But yeah, you have to have your heroes. And it really magnifies his experience here, getting traded over to the Cardinals and now making his major league debut 2 days ago. I love it.
He's played Pepper with the shortstop twice. He's 0 for 2 as Brian Torres up. He swung at the first pitch his first time. And he takes a strike here. Who was your guy? Who was your favorite player as a kid?
Fred Lynn.
Okay.
In 1975, Rookie of the Year, also MVP. I just love watching him play because it was always jumping off into the wall in center field. The way he played the game, had a beautiful left-handed swing. Who was yours? Who's your favorite?
Ted Simmons was my guy. Growing up in St. Louis. 0-2 count. How to play foul. Switch pattern. Long flowing hair.
Yeah.
Tough. In fact, when I was 10 years old, I got to go to a kids clinic at one of the banks in suburban St. Louis. Jack Buck was the MC. Ted Simmons was the guest, obviously, as Torres rolls out. And somehow, some way, Ted Simmons called on me to be the guinea pig for the demo and try to teach young players how to catch. So,
to listen with 15, Jose Vermeed.
Definitely my fault, not Ted's. I'll leave it at that.
But it was a hero cemented, right?
Yes.
What a day.
It was great seeing Ted at the ballpark the other day. Cardinals Hall of Famer. They put him on the scoreboard and asked him to do the tarps off, and he started like he was going to do it, and then he put his finger up and rattled and said, "No, I'm not going to." It's hard to top what Al Roboski did.
Yeah. Where do you go from there?
Yeah. (2-1), Minnesota the lead. Vermeer batter trying to extend his hit streak to 8 games. And didn't mean to, and then almost picked off the bat boy and the Twins coaching staff.
I'll tell you this, too. I got to spend a little bit of time with Ted Simmons on opening day, because when we were finished our pregame show, Danny and I dipped into the room of the Hall of Famers, and it's overwhelming. But one of the nicest guys you can meet is Ted Simmons.
You want to talk about how baseball really works? Talk to Ted. There is not a job he has not done in the major leagues. And so smart, so well-spoken, and so thoughtful as to what's right and what's wrong with the game, and what he likes and doesn't. It was a real and old...
Teammate in charge as we begin the final stage. Chase Briscoe outside of John Hunter Nemechek. Green again in the Poconos. And now the games begin as they run it down 3 wide into turn 1. Look at Hamlin get away. Oh, a little bit of contact for Larson there. 33 of Austin Field gets into the back and saves it. Nemechek jumps to the lead. Hamlin up to second on the restart.
Just staying with a big block down the back straightaway. Impact. Three wide again. Larson to the inside.
Led today for John Hunter Nemechek. Denny Hamlin, who won stage 1 from the pole, riding second right now. Well executed on the restart for him.
Got him, yes!
Closing in on the 7 of Suarez.
That's the battle for 7th on track. Suarez continues to impress. Scored 8 stage points today, been in the game all afternoon. Look at this move, crossover 2-for-1 opportunity. Kyle Larson is 5.
Larson was 3 wide. These two guys just a lap ago. Probably going to get that done there. Here comes Priest to the inside. He's going to join this. Larson's going to grab another spot right here. On Reddick.
5 on the move, final stage. Up to 9th in the running order. You mentioned Priest. Needs a good day, getting after it there in the 60.
Reddick passed the 17 to Busher. Somehow lost that spot again. Now lost the spot to Larson. He's shooting for the last lap of the 45 car of Reddick. Trevor, what you got on the 45?
Yeah, guys, we got some radio here if you want to take a listen.
Ready, being on timer down. Get ready. Feels like right side. I don't know. It just felt really. It's going.
Tyler Reddick still debating whether he's got a tire issue on that right side. He's going to stay out of here so far, but on that refire, tires felt very bad, guys.
How about the fact that Reddick has no stage points today? Hamlin has picked up 12 stage points. We talked about that battle for the regular season championship. Hamlin has made up almost 80 points in the last 3 races and doing some damage again here today.
We talked about the 9 and 11 starting on that same road together on this restart. Hamlin's made better progress up to second. Chase just now getting into 4th place. Byron right here in the 24 car. I like the speed in the 24 that I've seen today. The best car, I think Chase and Byron showed the best speed comparable to him. But we got a car losing.
Lost the tires.
62 of Mears, and what I believe has happened, Steve.
Lost his tire.
Deliver a message, even if it's his own kid.
Right into his rib cage.
Good for Cody. He's making his own name in the major leagues. He's had a nice series, an impressive year, 10 homers, 1-2 count, and fouled away.
Yeah, one of those guys that came in as a utility guy, and he's made himself into an everyday player. Opportunities here in Minnesota.
Started with the Tigers, now in the Tigers AL Central rivals, Minnesota. That serve to the left side. Shovel to second line.
Double play, yes!
If I wasn't will welcome the Padres to town. Mark, that's your Budweiser. What's on tap?
And the Padres have gone through scuffles, especially offensively. They know how to pitch, but it's a 3-game set that's going to be fun to watch, especially with this Cardinal offense and an uptick since June 2nd.
Yeah, to your point about San Diego, we know how good their pitching is. It's shocking that they have...
The field number 27, Nathan Church.
Action today.
We'll see if I get caught. I'm wondering if any of the drivers will be here. Can I get in? Back. Can do it. Up to date. Come on, Grandpa. Hit the gas pedal. Believe in yourself. Oh, my God. He said it. Come on. God save the Queen. This is the Undercovers.
But yes, the Padres
just over 50 left.
And will shorten games with the best of them.
Dustin May will get the start tomorrow night. The Padres haven't announced their Game 1 or Game 3 starters yet. Well, Michael King is going to pitch the middle game for San Diego against Andre Palante. We'll have all three of them for you here on Cardinals TV. Hey, the Redbirds are playing great. Hope you'll make your plans to join us at the start of a new week, as Nathan Church gets things going for the Cardinals in the 6th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Church with a 2-strike single, his first and only time up. That's one of 2 hits. The other one from Alec Burleson went a country mile for a home run. Both starters are giving their managers something they desperately need today, and that's some starting pitching length. Both have gone 5.
Oh boy, yes! Shortstop number 26, J.J. Weatherholt.
Hope to rally, and speaking of that, here's a quick word from Rally House.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
That's first walk for Bradley in the game. Walks were a problem for him the last 2. And smart take there by Weatherholt. That's 3 in a row Bradley's missed with. J.J. 0 for 2.
As we mentioned earlier, the command in his last 3 starts, 10 walks. See if this one comes up to bite him.
Short lead for Nathan at first. Not going. And Weatherholt almost got clipped. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, that's a good take from JJ. That cutter has been a really good pitch for Bradley today, especially against left-handed hitters.
Out of play foul. We were talking earlier about the Cardinals coaching staff and how they're all so intertwined in how they game plan for a big league matchup. Casual fans might think, well, the Cardinals just threw Weatherholt in to play shortstop today. Now, this was a plan that was 10 days in the making for St. Louis. I'll explain after the 2-1 pitch. And it's low, 3 balls and a strike. When Thomas Ajacey was sent back to Memphis, the Cardinals don't really have a true backup shortstop. And so Daniel Descalso told JJ, hey, with Ajacey gone, we may need you in the days ahead to fill in for a day at shortstop if Mason needs a rest. And so he started taking ground balls on that side of the diamond, and sure enough, here he is today. Swing and a drive. J.J. Weatherholt blasts that big
home run, yes!
He's got 10 homers.
Yeah, double digits for JJ, and that's saying something. I thought that cutter he took for the 1-0 pitch was really huge for him. He gets into count leverage and takes his shot on a mistake fastball. What an outstanding swing.
Ivan Herrera is your batter.
Catcher number 48, Ivan Herrera!
Has an ugly left-handed swing in our sport. He has such unbelievably quick and accurate hands with the bat from the left side.
Well, you gotta love it. You'll see it from the side. It's an outstanding approach. But he gets his hands set, that leg kick, when that foot strike comes in, then the barrel follows. It's an outstanding swing for a rookie that keeps evolving. But double digits for home runs. He's wearing the chain and getting some barks.
14 homers for St. Louis on the road trip. And what is it now? 83 homers for the season for St. Louis. There's a shot to short. That one kicked and Gray kicked.
Yes! Just to do with one out person.
And the inning continues for the Cardinals. Nobody out.
Well, 102 off the bat. He smashes it towards short. Probably a play he's got to make. Comes up on him a little bit. We'll see what the scoring is.
It is an error. The first of the game for either club. Now you got Burleson up. He just launched a homer. Let's add on here, shall we? That in the dirt, and no advance by Herrera.
Well, I'll tell you this, too. You go back to the first plate appearance and Nathan Church starting off the inning. Working a walk. That goes into what J.J. Weatherholt does, and that's the offense. It's scoring a lot of runs on this road trip. Passing the baton, and then that baton becomes the 10th home run for J.J. Weatherholt.
So here's Burleson's home run. It was a thunderclap on a clear sky day.
Hanging curveball, and for Burleson, his home run power has ticked up a notch, especially on this road trip.
One ball, no strikes. And you want to know why the Cardinals are 38-30 and why the Twins are 32-40? Well, what goes hand in hand? Pitching and defense.
Yeah.
Cardinals have been excellent with the leather. That has not been the case for Minnesota. Got to make them pay for that. Lee, Gray, Keishel, Lewis, and Caratini. That's the infield defense for Minnesota. That group's committed 28 errors this year. That's a lot. And that's a strike. It's 2-2.
Yeah, equates to more pitches. They have struggled in that pitching department, both starter pitching and also relief. And the frustrations for Derek Shelton, just trying to find a way to navigate through these games.
The 2-2 pitch. And I don't think the Twins are going to call it this, but I really do think it is kind of a rebuild year for them. When you lose Lopez, you've got a decision to make on Joe Ryan. They've got to really build from within. They are not in the economic tiers of Chicago.
Nemechek in control, outside lane. Hamlin's had some big restarts in the last couple of weeks to get the lead and get the victory. We'll see what happens here. 50 to go. Hamlin knows out front, and there goes the 11. All clear. Started on point, won a stage, cycled out of the lead through strategy, but with 50 to go, he's in charge again.
He got stolen base. Weatherholt got stolen base. Hold on, Weatherholt got stolen base.
Through the tunnel. Treats way up there, hits the wall.
Weil wir sind nur easy Jordan Walker.
Chase Elliott trying to make something happen. Racing Eric Jones for fourth.
Trying to get a little side draft right there. As you see Briggs to the inside of Freeze down here, 3 wide. Oh man, he drove down his corner. We're going to go up the racetrack down to the middle 1-2. Might have been Kosovar, not quite sure. But the 25-year still on the fence. Also, some turn with the valve.
Happy about how Chastain got all this inside, made him a little bit tight there. Got him into the fence. Chastain wisely gets behind this 12. So Chastain up the racetrack using a lot of racetrack right there. Ryan's got a right to be upset. Contact wasn't as bad as we looked the first time by. I believe the 12 is going to be okay. Chastain's never finished inside the top 10 here at Pocono.
Back out the field here.
Let's take a look at it. Oh no! What's the dust right now? Yes, one challenge remaining.
Still top 10. We got Suarez back there racing with Hocevar.
Yeah, I've been surprised.
The field number 21 was Duke Bar.
There to be speed in that car. The car practiced really well. For whatever reason, they just haven't been able to find the track position today. I don't really know that he doesn't have a fast car. They just haven't been able to work their way forward. See the advantage for Hamlin. Second and a half over Nemechek. And I will say that even though Nemechek lost the top spot on the restart, staying connected, running second, just doing all you can to keep contact with the front will help you when things cycle later on. You make that final pit stop.
Ready for that night. And as they run, this race would end now. Denny would be only 12 points back. Crazy how he's gained so many points over the last several weeks. Not guilty. Corey said it in the pre-race. You mentioned it. After the first 5 or 6 races in the season, I didn't think there was a conversation about who's going to win the regular season and have the most points heading into the chase because Reddick had such a hot start, but Hamlin is running down. You just mentioned it, 12 back, and this was the checkered flag.
And there's a lot to make of that right now because that is including all the points that come with a victory, right? And so that does really help Hamlin cut the gap down. But the reality is, out front right now, in charge of this race and very much in position to go out and make it 3 in a row.
Now that line gets back in line. Back there in 21st. Shore has a couple cars in front of him. Got a white hood right there. Those are all behind us. Suarez with the pit road. That last cycle got some tires. We'll see if that helps him as these tires age.
Conversation today centers around Denny Hamlin.
Just driving away. About a couple tenths faster than Nemechek there. From a 53.60, nobody's in the 60s. There are much cars in the 70s right there in the top 10. But the best car on the racetrack, plus clean air, in control of the race. Their race to lose, honestly. Incredible what he's been able to do over the last couple of weeks.
Hamlin leads Nemechek by 2 seconds. Briscoe, Elliott, Jones, the rest of the top 5.
Back and forth affair. It's been that way all weekend. So earlier today, I was talking to Ollie Marmol about this ballpark, and I said, what do you like about it offensively on the positive side of things? Because it has been kind of a place where you can hit a lot of long balls. And he said, yeah, but that goes for both sides. And so once you have a lead, you kind of anticipate that it's going to go back and forth for a lot of the game. And that is what we've seen. It's what we've seen today. So he likes the ballpark a lot, but it plays in favor of both sides, Chip.
The Minnesota Twins hit last, so that's the advantage the home team has. And to your point, both offenses today, Danny, 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, but we've seen a total of 3 homers hit.
Yeah, first game after the 6th inning, combined 12 runs scored. So yes, there's opportunities here It's the batter's eye. You look out in center field, you see the ball better. You're barreling up balls, and both offensives have looked good.
Michael McGreevy's looking good too. Just one mistake, it cost him 2 runs, but the Weatherholt homer has put him in front. And McGreevy today trying to become the 3rd Cardinal pitcher on this road trip to complete 6 innings in a starting assignment. Lifted out a play, foul. Lewis stays alive. It's
voice Lewis.
From the hitter's perspective, he gives you
Oh no,
looks. He
voice
And
Lewis.
that is a huge trait for a young pitcher. It's the confidence that his stuff is going to outplay you, and he's going to be able to give you different looks.
Lewis has walked, stolen a base, and fly out. Two balls, 2 strikes. Grounded to the left side. JJ's got it. Low top. Longer top.
Got him, yes!
Well, this is really fun to watch because our key was...
It's my understanding that you no longer work for the CIA. That was my understanding too.
Significant pit stops, final ones of the day happening scheduled under green, Kim.
Now we have teammates Chase Elliott and William Byron both in. Chase Elliott still happy with that race car. They will take 4 tires on this stop for teammate William Byron. Didn't go anywhere, so that window opened to pit, and they took advantage.
Slow, it looks like on the left side of the 5. Yeah, Byron also leaps the 9 and the 5 there, so the 24 gets in front of his teammates. They're going to want to work together, though. They don't want to get side by side. The idea is coming right now is to get the freshest tires on this car. The yellow does not have to get these guys as well. Get fresh tires on and try to match the 11 speed as best you can. Here comes the 42 of Nemechek, who needed a little bit more fuel. He's going to get around the 9. Just those couple laps of fresher tires working. William Byron's going to have to be defensive right here, though. Stay in front of Nemechek. What a race. What a call. Really efficient work by both legacy cars, both crew chiefs, all the engineers should just be really smiling. Not only have they brought great race cars, but they have called a great race at one of the trickiest tracks to do it and give themselves a chance to show the speed of those Toyotas, Trevor.
Michael McDowell hitting pit road. We saw him earlier come in to start the pit cycle in stage 2. Now he's going to get his 4 tires and fuel, fighting a little bit of tight in that Chevrolet.
Al's had a good day. It cycled up inside the top 10. Maybe just outside when green flag pit stops began.
Here comes the leader, Denny Hamlin, to pit road.
39 to go.
It's all about execution. Denny can't speed. Team has to get the car full. And then we will see where he blends on the racetrack compared to Byron. He should be fine. He had a big enough lead pre-cycle. But a lot of moving parts in a pit cycle, Marty. The 11 in front of you.
Remember NASCAR Live, Steve, Denny Hamlin said that pit crew has been absolutely on it lately. Let's see if they can deliver here on this final stop of that restart. Showing that the 11 car on the longer run, cleans up so far, and they did it for going on the Jacksons. Let's see where he cycles out.
On board with the 24 of Byron. Hamlin's going to be upper left. He's already kind of off and going, so I think Hamlin's going to easily keep the lead over Byron. Now it's whose car is better? 38 laps to go. We assume both these cars have enough gas to make it, unless there was a miscalculation. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. Both the cars still on the racetrack have to pit, but this should be for the race win.
Yeah, I was going to say, not the battle for the lead right now, but it will be when everything cycles through if we stay conventional here. Top 15 cars Yet to make a pit stop. Steve talks about those that still must get their service.
Just run a couple laps here and see what lap times Denny's able to produce all day long. They've been able to beat the faster car, Steve. So now Byron, we've kind of talked about throughout the day as the car looked relatively competitive, making top 3 cars. So now he has clean air as well. We'll see if he can match the lap time.
And there's some chance. Let's talk about the cars that haven't pit. So Reddick at this point, they may run long and hope they get a yellow and big pressure tires would help. That's an option. Maybe they're just trying to be safer for in case he gets some overtime. Suarez back in 6th. He was last on pit road at 107, right? You see 16 laps since last pit. So Suarez, maybe he's thinking 2 tires, maybe some gasoline. So I think there's going to be some movement through this pit cycle. I don't think anything's going to cycle somebody in front of the 11.
Yes!
On the legacy car there, the 42. John there didn't check, but couldn't quite get the job done. Just maybe a little more speed right now in that 5 car.
Still waiting his pit stop. Let's do our all-day value presented by IHOP. Time to focus on John Hunter Nemechek. I mean, you talked about the execution across the board. The game plan coming in is one thing, but to be able to go out and do it and have the speed in the race car and all those things, they're checking all the boxes here today.
Travis Mack trying to find every advantage he can for this 42 car. Most importantly, though, it's fast enough to the racetrack. Dale, we talked about the Canes at the beginning of this, right? Like, what is most important? And we kind of joked about speed, but what the 42 is proving is you can call it a race, but you have to have speed. You just can't put your car out there and hope. And the 42 has held its own against all the big guys today.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that we've celebrated with Legacy over the last several weeks is they've found consistency. And we talked about it on our pre-race show where the information being shared across the board with all the Toyotas seems to be finally getting to the Legacy team. Or they're starting to finally utilize it and get the information they need it, and see it help them on the racetrack. So really impressive to see the collaboration across all the Toyota teams to be able to go out there and put all those cars on the racetrack, make them go fast. Other manufacturers are going to take note. They're going to start to try to emulate what's working across the board for all the organizations that drive the Toyota banner.
Just over 30 laps to go. It's spoken of. Reddick still out front.
Presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, Mark, you know what Bob Costas would say as we go to the 7th inning? What was that? He would say, first of all, the Cardinals lead the Twins 3-2. And then he'd say, how often do you see it?
What's with 33 plays shortened?
Well, you might. Just once.
That man is Blaze Jordan. He's rolled out to short twice against Taj Bradley. And he kicks off our Honda home run inning. If another Cardinal can go deep, your Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
And we've had some scripted debuts this year, haven't we?
Man. Chase that one up and away. A ball and 2 strikes. Jordan, the 3rd Cardinal all-time to homer and triple in his first 2 career big league games. Kenny Boyer did it in 1955. A man named Jim Huey did it in Mark's rookie season in 1898. Sorry, I had to do that.
Don't be sorry.
The family's here, and a weekend they'll never forget. All that's left is to win the series, as that one is tagged towards short. And first is on the money and in time. Blaze is 0 for 3, and that's how the top of the 7th starts for the Cardinals. Brian Torres is coming up.
39 points was.
That unforgettable debut against the Reds. 9 years in the minors, 2 years in independent ball, 11 years in the making. He hits a homer in his first big league game against the Reds.
And the reaction of the family was priceless.
That's well hit towards center, but Buxton gallops over. Torres quickly retired, 2 outs. Fermin is next. He'll back.
Nummer 15, Hold Faith for me.
First time in NASCAR history.
Because of our Ultra Heroes.
This is uncharted territory, even for you, Junior. Blood for the truth.
Count me in, boys.
Stream the Android 250 live from San Diego next Sunday. NASCAR, it's on Prime.
With no power comes no responsibility. Nicolas Cage's Spider Noir. All episodes available now on Prime Video. And aerial coverage today at Pocono is presented by Goodyear. Born on the track, built for the street. Heading toward 30 laps to go.
Reddick's still out on the racetrack leading, running 53.7s. Denny Hamlin in 11th.
Yes!
Early in the day about how tires really didn't have a lot of fall off, and Reddick trying to take advantage of having this clean air. Maybe the fresher tire at the end will give him an opportunity to be aggressive. Marty.
Carson Hocevar gives up a top 10 spot.
Zawiodza po 27, Nathan Church.
The longer they run, the tighter that car gets. Hocevar says, I need to keep my turn on the long run. That's been their trouble.
Frustrating too, that car just migrates tight because there's not a lot you can do. You just got to slow down, let the front tires do their work.
29 to go. We are commercial free through the checkered flag on Prime.
We wanted to also compare lap time with Byron and Denny, and the last lap on the racetrack, Byron just a little bit quicker. Still about a 3-second difference between the two cars.
Christopher Bell 6th right now, Marty.
Yeah, everybody thinks Denny Hamlin, his teammate, is the one in the catbird seat here at Pocono with 29 to go. But what are Christopher Bell and Adam Stevens cooking up?
Oh, we gotta take a look at it. We gotta take a look first.
That last lap was fantastic. Good mileage and good speed.
Adam Stevens, we're going to
maybe
stretch
not.
this thing. Now,
Quite
see,
two.
with 51 laps to go, that would be a fairly massive stretch. I just checked in with Adam Stevens. I said, can you stretch it to the end? He said, I believe we can, but I do not think that we will win. I think this could just give us some track position. Remember, they run pretty much from 20th to 25th today with Bell on that broken left wrist, so taking a little bit of a risk here to see if they can stretch it and gain some track position, net out better at the end of the day.
Yeah, for the last time they pitted, they would need a little over 6 miles per gallon on average.
Now Stuart Bird Bar, presented by Red Bull.
Everybody at full song, you're going to see 5 O's, 5 1s, even Reddick down there at 4 inches because he is burning some gas running those laps. But right there in the middle, 5.6, you're going to see Bell. So not quite the 6.0 I think he needs to average, but you know, this is just the last 3 laps. So you kind of get it when you can. You find your kind of pick your moments. When you find a car you're catching, he drafts a little bit, and he probably figures he can get to maybe 10 to go and then really judge where his position is on the racetrack and decide. The other thing is that you can even change strategies. Come to pit road towards the end and hope for a yellow, and you'll have fresh tires for the restart. So a lot of options still for the 20. Battle right here between the 44 and the 33. Austin Hill doing a really nice job in this car. I know a couple of these last restarts have cost him some positions, but it's a big difference from their riding the car to this cup car.
Yeah, he's had good speed in practice, qualified pretty decent from Austin Hill.
I think he ran well in the race. To be honest with you, maybe his best performance behind the wheel of the next-gen car. Just going to get better and better each week as he gets more time in the car. He's having to do, be a full-time race car driver times 2. He's doing sim work for both the rally and for the cup stuff. Probably way more sim work than most guys are doing. Just trying to accelerate that learning curve. Got to be in all the meetings for each series. The post-race meetings, pre-race meetings all week long. So just a lot of heavy lift for this young guy. But he wants to prove to RCR that he's the man for the job next year. I don't know that it's an obvious that
Yes! Shorts out of 26 GG with the Wolves.
I'm really worried about the finishing position. Just show me the speed, right? That's right. Where the raw speed is, and if we can learn how to execute better, here's the leader going to pit road.
Tyler Reddick making his scheduled stop, 25 laps to go.
45 with Tyler Reddick decided to gamble and get some clean air there to see if they can make some lap times.
We'll see if this pays off on the back end of the run.
They have fresher tires than everyone else, so we'll see him hit his box here for tires and fuel. Ross Chastain coming in right behind him, 2 stalls back from him as you see him enter the street. Ross Chastain has been building 3 and he asked for a small chassis adjustment, which you can see Mike's looking at that pit stall a little bit.
Here you see 9.7 on Reddick, 9.0 Chastain, great stop for the 1. I'll say that Hamlin has lost a little bit of his gap to Byron, mostly because of traffic. I think he's having a little bit more trouble getting through traffic than Byron is. Yeah, the last lap on the racetrack, a 54.19 for Denny, a 53.66 for Byron. Byron, second fastest lap on the racetrack. The only other the car that ran the best lap last time by was Cole Custer, way back to 30th. But to your point, Steve, I think that the Byron car is on par, but as we know, we get deep into the long run, we'll see if this 11 car starts to make the magic that it tends to do. The gap is closing just a little bit.
And you have a problem with this place where the challenge is maybe a better word. You catch the lap car the wrong time, or you have any sort of momentum killer in a corner, it can cost a big chunk of time down one of these straightaways. That lap right there, 53.59 for Denny, clean air, 53.87 on Byron.
I just think about the end of stage 1. We're coming down to the end of the stage. Larson's leading. They come up on Casey Mears. 30 air, effective to 5, allows the 11 to get by. Happens here a lot. It's happened today.
I want to believe that 24 can get up there and make a race out of it, but we just don't know. Denny's really smart. Like David Pearson, he's going to push as hard as he needs to. Probably got a lot more race car in his pocket than he's showing right now. 54 is on pit road. Kim.
That's right. Early in the run, he said it wouldn't turn center off. Then it finally freed up there later in the run as he went a little far over onto that hook, so adjusted there before starting that stop. So a little hiccup, and this is actually the second hiccup of the day for them on pit road. Remember, they had an issue on the right there in an earlier stop, but not a great stop on the green for the 54.
Yeah, the advantage of trying to take 2 tires were kind of lost by sliding along in this box and having to back it up. Did a nice job. Crew did a good job not going to work, not incurring the penalty by being over, and Ty very efficiently got it in reverse. The time penalty was lost.
It puts Ryan Blaney in the race lead. Suarez is second. Christopher Bell is third. Here comes Blaney.
Glenn, you'll have the first box onto pit road. He was reporting, I just need a number more for torn. You see the right side tires going on. They will take 4 tires on this stop. They should really not take a ton of fuel though. They felt like they were good with the last stop on 2 cans, Marty.
And here comes that second place car, Daniel Suarez. He told Ryan Sparks a moment ago, we've made it better in traffic, but I got to keep that turn for these final 22 laps. Again, he did it at lap 107, so this stop should be a little bit quicker than everybody else, and you see that reflected in right side tires only.
So got our way up the racetrack in turn 1 and 2. A little bit of an issue. I don't believe there was contact with the wall, but 97, here it is. I think Shane Van Gisbergen got way up the racetrack. I believe he stayed out of the wall, but got a ton of debris on his tires. Way up against the fence. He's kind of struggling still here. Get going. Let's take a look at it and see if we can see what happened with the 97. There it is right there. I mean, I just watched him go down in the corner. Looked like he got way up the track with like the right front tire was flat, but it appears the right front tire's okay. Just gonna have to run a little bit to clean all that debris off his tires that he picked up and continue on.
So let's go back to the front of the field. Christopher Bell leading this thing. Here's 20 radio.
Yes!
I mentioned that Christopher Bell needs about 6 miles per gallon. Well, that's exactly what he's got the last few laps. Get a little bit of toe out front. Byron a little bit quicker than Denny that last lap. Got 2/10 off of the distance between them. There was 3 seconds between Denny and Byron.
这师傅不一起发的呗，哇！
And the 24. They both run almost identical lap times the last time by.
Keep those fuel numbers in. NASCAR presented by Red Bull.
Yeah, the 24 is close enough now to be 11, but he has him squarely in the mirror. We're really on board with Byron. You see up ahead. And then he's got a little bit of, a little bit of a gap, but that's enough to have a little draft down this rest straightaway too. So Byron's had to work hard by himself to get this gap closed up, but now close enough to possibly get a little bit of an assist to tow down the front straightaway. But let's listen to some 11 radio.
So we need to go the 20 and then the 1 for the fast race. It sounds like he's got to stay on 4 laps of fuel where he's trying to. So we need to go
That's the information that Denny's getting. So we're going to believe that he's
Just waits, it's not cold.
He's showing everything that he has. Byron 2/10 quicker and 10 faster than Denny that last lap. So if Denny's pushing to catch this 20, Byron, the best car on the racetrack, for closing in with 19 to go. I didn't think anybody had anything for this 11.
Oh boy, yeah.
When Kyle Larson lost the lead to Denny Hamlin and some lap traffic off of turn 3. That's what William Byron is going to hope happens with Denny Hamlin. I don't believe Byron can drive up there and just get around this 11 by himself. He will need some traffic to muddy the waters a little bit for Denny Hamlin.
Well, 18 laps to go. Just such a long time at Pocono. Still 9 seconds out front for Christopher Bell. Think about what happened to him last week in the injury, managing the fuel gauge, and back behind him.
Just another play one, Alex Wilson.
Equal lap times the last time by. Check also. A couple seconds back in the 42, running 70. All 3 of those guys, 11, 24, 42, on top of each other. Check love the 11. It's not Byron. Look at that. Almost 2/10 faster for William Byron. You can see it evidently on the screen that the 11 is getting larger. Well, I was going to say, Nemechek wants Byron to get there and somehow get them side by side and start to battle, park each other, side draft each other. Because it wouldn't take a lap or 2 and Nemechek would be in the battle. And Reddick, on the freshest tires, is really coming. He's 5 or 6 seconds back, but he is making really good lap times in the 45.
Driver 11, Marty.
And Denny Hamlin knows that 24 growing bigger in his mirror. In fact, a moment ago, they just started giving him updates to where William Byron is running. And when they went into the tunnel turn last time, Dale, he said to Chris Lambert, his spotter, give me those updates. Tell me where that 24 is running so I can match what he's doing.
He wants to know exactly the line the 24 is running so that he can try to, again, he's looking at the mirror, but also trying to get information about what the 24 likes to do. Run the top, middle, in turn 1, turn 3, the tunnel. You're going to have to start giving some cadence to this 20 car as well, because I'm going to tell you, they told Hamlin to go get him. And it's only 8.6 seconds with 16 laps to go, so.
I don't think he's going to get to us if he keeps doing that.
Adam Stevens says, I don't think he's going to get to us. Now, look, we're trying to guess how much fuel this 20 is saving, but these teams have become so efficient with fuel savings. Drivers have the tools to do it. Last year, the 19 of Briscoe, we didn't think there was any chance that he could stretch the fuel the way he did, Steve, but they were able to make that happen. Now, I think the 20's having to run a little bit harder. But again, I think they surprised themselves.
themselves sometimes on how far they can stretch the mileage here.
Well, I'll say 51 laps, 50 need to be green, 1 under yellow would be as far as I've seen somebody stretching under green at Pocono in quite some time. Last year, to put it into perspective, right, the 19 had to go just over 40 laps. Now, they had some issue on fueling, and they weren't full, which is what made him have to save some gas. The 20 is just trying to go as far as possible. Trevor, the 45 of Reddick in 6 on fresher tires.
Yeah, the thing I love about this race, Steve, is you never know where the punch is going to come from. We saw Tyler Reddick stay out, run long. Now he's on that tire advantage. He's gaining over half a second a lap. And if you're any good at math, he's 8 seconds back. Maybe he can make it. I don't know. 15 to go. They're asking now on the radio, Tyler Reddick said, can I make it? They said, we think so. We'll get back to you.
What I love is it's just they've given themselves options. They just don't all follow the 11 down and say, well, he has a speed today. We're going to do what the 11 does. They're not Eeyore today, right? They're out there trying to make something work, trying to be positive, giving the driver 45. These guys have had an unbelievable season. But that was a long time. As great as it was, it's kind of almost out of sight, out of mind to have it so far at the beginning. Marty, the 20th bell, currently 7 seconds in front of Hamlin.
Steve, you're exactly right. They're starting to be a little growing confidence here in the 20 camp. They can't make it. It's going to be close. Listen to the radio.
Our chance for a top 3 is to keep saving. Stay disciplined, keep saving. It's going to be close. We got to have fuel on the end, dude. Keep saving.
Steve has said that about 4 times since that radio transmission. It's going to be close. I need a little bit more, but that gap really not shrinking to his teammate Denny Hamlin. You mentioned still 7 seconds with 13 to go.
Well, I've been cheating, looking at the burn bar up here, and I'm less concerned about the 6.6 seconds as I am that tank of Sunoco fuel behind the driver at the 20. I think he needs about 6.0 average, and I've seen a lot of laps, 5-point-somethings, and the 5-point-somethings means they're a little short. And you can hear it in Adam Stevens' voice there. Don't get caught up in the race with the 11. Like he's thinking top 3. You know, just anything would be a great day.
A little bit of lap traffic for Denny Hamlin as we saw in this race.
Your turn 1 is good. You need to left earlier and 2 and 3.
That's instructions to the 20. You are mentioned traffic now in front of the 11.
The 24's not been able to get in the last couple of rounds on the 11 of Denny Hamlin, and Denny's going to make quick work of the lap traffic.
We're around Ty Dillon at the 10.
One car, though, that was right in front of me, Daniel Dye, doesn't do a lot of racing in the next gen. Will he know how to, make this as easy as possible for Denny to get through?
I think about Christopher Bell and his average running position today outside the top 20, dealing with that fractured wrist and all the things that have come with that after that hard hit last week at Michigan. And this team has really managed the afternoon, putting themselves in the best position for success now. Can he save enough to get to the finish line? 11 to go. He's still out front, Marty.
Steve's burn bar, Adam, is indeed a cheat. Adam Stevens just told Christopher Bell, that's not enough. I need a little bit more. So, Steve, you called it. They're noticing it on the 20 as well. Need a little bit more to make it to the end, these final 11 laps.
I've tested math a few times, Marty, and I'm over every time I've tried to test the math. When it says you're not going to make it, the guy sitting next to me has spelt it from behind the wheel. One time in Las Vegas, we were supposed to be a mile short. We ran out exactly a mile from the start-finish line. Like, these guys are so good at predicting, and that was a decade ago. These cars now, they had it down to the ounce. So Adam Stevens coaching his driver, but remember, if you get a yellow, you probably can save enough to make it. So you don't want to just pull over and give up your track position.
I think it sounded like right there, he's clutching it.
Oh, he did, yes!
One thing he didn't do, there's no doubt, that thing's high gear all the way around. Keeping the RPM is basically fuel burn. That's how you can look at it. The RPM's going up, you burn more gas. See here, probably lift real early, no brake. Turn 3 over the other one. You should use a bunch of brake in turn 3 or some brake. I bet he uses nearly, probably 0, I bet. And then he coasts off into the corner, shaking his head at him like, that's not enough. I need more. Bell's like, man, I have a cast on my left wrist. I'm doing the best I can out here. Cut me some slack. Find me some fuel. 25 miles go. 10 laps. And there's Denny right there at the top of the scene. I think he's going to get there easily. Just 10 laps here, 9 laps here. There's a long way to go. This is the size. You know, this track is like a super speedway in size to Daytona, Talladega. He's got a long, long way to go to be able to try to maintain this 3.5 second lead. But look at the gap, right? If Bell does save enough, and he can say he gets 10 seconds back. That's going to be a 6th or a 7th for a day that he was outside the top 20.
Huge for them. So we ride here with Hamlin. We talked about where he is in the running order. Right behind him, you know, William Byron having a great day. They needed it. A lot of things have gone wrong for this 24 team in 2026, but they're in line for a top 5 finish. And then you go behind him, and we just can't say enough about the execution and the opportunity that exists for Legacy Motor Club, and in particular the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek, 6th here last year and in position for a top 5 today.
We got Tyler Reddick right behind him. Tyler with the newer tires, running about, let's say, 2 tenths to 5 tenths better a lap than Denny Hamlin. So he's cut that distance between him and Denny down to about 5 seconds. But now, this is where it gets tough. He's in traffic. These spots won't come easily. And so this will be what I believe keeps this 45 car from going up there and challenging for the win. Trying to get by Nemechek here. It's costing him laps that he doesn't have to give.
Behind Reddick, Kyle Larson started on the front row. This team's been performing lately. When you think about what they did, Coke 600 had some good things going at Nashville, a late spin, but they've been scoring stage points, knocking on the door. And here he is riding 6 today. He's also knocking on the door, top 5 in points, that threshold where you need to be if you're going to win a championship. Of course, he is our reigning champ. Right behind him, Eric Jones, knocking out another top 10 this afternoon. He rides 7th. Their performance has been outstanding.
Yeah, Legacy Motor Club having a great day. Right behind him, the RFK entry, the 17 of Chris Buescher, currently 8th. That's what Chris Buescher does. Quiet days, another top 10. The 1 of Chastain, I won't say it was quiet. We see some tire smoke coming to pit road. You can't miss this Busch Light Lime on the racetrack. It's bright green and it stands out. But somehow he just blended his way into the top 10 and behind the 1 of Chastain. The 54 of Gibbs, we saw the 2-tire call a little long in his pit box. It may have costed 1 spot to Chastain a couple seconds back. I'm not sure if it was a big deal in the absolute finishing order, but Gibbs continues time after time just finding his way. Remember that slow pit stop early really got the 54 behind, but they recovered to run in the top 10.
I think there were 6 times this year that Gibbs has either matched or bettered his career best at a track. It speaks to their performance through this first part of the regular season.
Denny's under 2 seconds behind the 20 of Christopher Bell. I think Bell knows now it's all about fuel conservation. Looking at his last couple laps, he's saving a ton of fuel.
Going to be 5 laps to go this time around.
When Denny gets within range, does he have any more ability to push? Well, the problem is with 28 cars on the lead lap, it would be a very costly game. Right? He's currently, as they run, you know, up inside the top 10, that has winning points involved. So if you run out of gas at the white flag, you're going to lose 25 points. Let's listen into the 20.
On that pace, even if they get there, we'll probably slide in or we think it within the next.
I like the honesty. Like, hey man, let's not even pretend we're racing Hamlin. We're thinking P4. They've given him a target pace. Hamlin's thinking, that's great, man, but just let me go clean because I have a Hendrick Chevy back here, a couple seconds back. He's close enough. I don't want to catch you at the wrong time. That's so painful for Christopher Bell to know that he could run harder and possibly keep Denny behind him. He's going to have to let him just drive right by him. He's got to do it quick because Byron's only 2 seconds back. Here goes Denny to the inside. That'll be there. There it is.
Denny Hamlin back on point. His teammates saving fuel. Hamlin takes advantage. The 11 in charge, coming to 4 laps to go.
Now Bell has to use this air. Right now, let's talk. It's not good that you've lost the position, but now just get in that slipstream. Let the air pull you along. I think it's easier to be able to save now that you know it's not for the win. Right now, you've lost the race to the 11. Now, back it up. I don't give you go 10 seconds back. Now he's sitting there thinking, I probably should have saved a lot more than I did. I didn't, you know, he's hoping throughout all of this that maybe there's
here's his chance, right? That we can actually win this race. So he pushed probably harder than he should have. His team, you know, backing down. Now that he's lost the lead to Hamlin, he's thinking, man, I sure hope I did save enough. He's probably doing that very aggressively now as William Byron's closing in on the back bumper, the 20 of Christopher Bell.
Now if you're Denny Hamlin, you're like, just get me to that white flag. Don't need any more drama this afternoon. Riding with Byron here.
Bell was 31st when we started this run. What a call, yeah. I mean, it works. Really great call. And, you know, he's thinking he's in this car because he wants to try to race for a championship. You know, he comes in, he wants to be in that top 5, top 6. He's about 40 points or so out in that position coming into this race. So it's been a big day and makes some guys and try to keep himself in that conversation. Bell wishes this race was 2 laps shorter. The guy behind him, Tyler Reddick, wishes it was about 5 laps longer. With Reddick on the fresher tires, as easy to go by Bell. And I think he has Byron. He has more than enough. He's been a second faster than Byron the last 3 laps. So I think he's going to get Byron for sure. I'm not sure he has speed to go get Hamlin. Hamlin definitely doesn't want to see a yellow, though, because if you think you're staying out, which probably the leaders would, the fresher tires for Reddick are really showing up. Let's see just on board if he's able to make this pass clean or if he's going to get stuck behind the 24. 2 laps to go.
How about Denny Hamlin? Last week in Michigan, gets his 63rd career victory. And it comes nearly 20 years after he got his first right here at Pocono. Just unbelievable what this guy has been able to do over the long haul. And at 45 years old, continues to be top-notch. No debating. He is on fire right now. Hottest driver in all of NASCAR.
Reddick back to the throttle, trying to make a run happen here on this 24 car of Byron. Oh man, he buries it down into turn 3 to the inside.
Christopher Bell out of fuel, running 4th. He just said, I'm out, I'm out.
Oh man, so Denny on the top is going to take the white flag right here.
1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. There's Bell peeling off, coming to pit road.
Yeah, so at least he got to pit road. He's probably going to lose 20, 25 spots. Now it's all about Denny Hamlin. He has about 2 miles to go.
4 times in his career, he's won back-to-back, but he's never had the hat trick, winning 3 in a row. Boy, has he been so impressive. Across the tunnel turn. Short shoot to turn 3. Now the left-hander coming back to the checkered flag. Hamlin is on a heater. Denny gets his 3rd victory in a row, and it comes here at Pocono.
3 in a row, 64, my man. Great work. Great job, man. Great stage points and the finish. I think you closed up at like 20 from the morning.
He's now 19
All
back.
here better than wins, fans. You guys are doing it. Way to go, man. Proud of you guys.
Hamlin now 19 points back. Incredible day. 64th career victory. And the 8th time he's pulled into victory lane here at Pocono.
Bell battled it out. He's going to end up 26th.
How about this? Talk about drivers that have been able to win 3 in a row and getting it done when you start up front. That's an elite list. Darrell Waltrip on there in 1981. Oh, by the way, he was driving the 11 car. And you go big picture from a team perspective. This win number 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing at Pocono, matching.
without any weather to look.
Will retire the side.
BS challenge. It's a big situation in the ball game.
As you said, Mark, these Twins are really good in these spots. A walk and 3 straight hits. And a 1-run game. 2 balls, no strikes. Chase that slider. That would have been ball 3.
Yeah, just honing in on a dead red fastball, and he gets a slider. Well executed for George. You got to get back into the count here.
And you got Win and JJ up the middle if you can get a double play ball. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout would be nice, too. He's come back to even things up.
Yeah, an outstanding changeup to get back even in the count. Now he's got a lot of thoughts on Royce Lewis's mind.
Soriano get Lewis here. The pitch. Fly ball left. It's down for a base hit. Minnesota station to station has tied this game. 4 straight hits. Chip back-to-back changeup
pitch for Soriano, and he left his last one up. Royce Lewis, who has been hot, he's changed his batting style, and he gets that, serves it into left. Now the runners had to hold just a little bit because of that soft line drive. Just station-to-station baseball for the Twins, and it's knotted up.
And they're still loaded, and there's still only one out. 4 straight singles after a 1-out walk. Now Buxton 90 feet away with what could be the go-ahead run. And Bell got tied up. It's 0-2.
The frustration behind that fastball by Soriano, 98 miles an hour, and had a cutting action.
This would be a huge moral victory if you can keep it tied. Bell behind 0-2. When we get to the Cardinals' 8th, Walker, Nootbaar, and Blaze Jordan are your scheduled batters. And George peers in, gets the sign, and here it is. Hey, got him. High fastball at 98. Second strikeout of the inning, and 2 are out.
Well, with 2 strikes, Ivan Herrera asks for the pitch up. Watch how he presents the glove. Perfect location at 98 miles an hour to get a big punch out.
But we're not out of the woods yet. Caratini's got a 2-run homer. And takes a strike. That's a great point you make. Pitchers are taught down, down, down. I've heard so many guys say it's hard to throw the ball up there when you have to.
Yeah, and especially the way Soriano likes to prefer it. And he likes to throw the ball down, but you can elevate at the right time.
Fly ball, well hit left. Nootbaar retreating, still going. Peeks it.
Got him, yes!
And that will retire the side. That was not an easy play. The Twins. Well, are you not entertained? I think is the way we would describe this series. Another wild one in Minneapolis. Ball flying. Bullpens are having some issues. And it is a battle of the bullpens the rest of the way. It's Andrew Morris, who closed the game the other day. Now he's setting up in the 8th inning of a 4-4 score.
How you doing on your hard beds?
I'm great. I'm used to it by now.
Feeling good.
So changes afoot for Minnesota. Martin's in right, Clemens is in left, and Kreidler takes over at shortstop for Gray. Jordan Walker leads off.
He's 0 for 3. Now, everything's been away, and you understand why for Jordan Walker. He tried to sneak a little bit piece of cheese by him yesterday. That didn't work.
That one in for a strike. 1-1 your count. It's smart pitching in a close game or a tie game late. Don't pitch to pull side power. The problem is Walker's got power at all fields. We'll see how it plays out. That one taken at the knees. 1-2 your count. Walker, Lars Nootbaar, and Blaze Jordan are coming up.
Whitefield to the 18th, Jordan Walker.
Catch by Lars in left. That ball kept carrying, and he thought the wall was coming up a little closer than it did, but he was able to help the Cardinals strand the bases loaded. And Walker chased. Backside bailed out on that one. He struck out 3 times in a row and is 0 for 4. 1 away.
Everything away in execution on the glove side. Off the plate, but exposes Jordan Walker today. He has exposed that outside corner a lot today.
Lars Nootbaar is 0 for 3. Said it earlier in the series, may have said it again today. It's fascinating how often
Whitefield to the 21 was Nootbaar.
These two clubs have combined to score 40 runs. 24 of the 40 have come in the 6th inning or later. Yeah. It's been a struggle for the relief pitchers. Joe Romero allows a couple of runs. Soriano got us out of the 7th, and now it's Morris ahead of Nootbaar 0-2. Pitch clock violation, and Nootbaar bounces that foul. Morris, with a 1/10 of a second left, able to start his delivery, which means no violation.
It didn't seem like it was on purpose either, because he's just taking his time.
And that one's center cut. Back-to-back strikeouts. 2 up, 2 down. Blaze Jordan. Let's see if he can.
Let's visit with Blaze Jordan.
Grounded to the left side.
Yes!
5th hit of the series for Jordan, and the go-ahead runner on with 2 outs. So, Danny, what a series for Blaze Jordan.
Yeah, you guys were talking about the play he made over at first earlier, and it corresponds with his name, Blaze. His dad thought it would be a really good football name. His mom read it in a magazine, and so that's how they came up with Blaze, guys.
I know my parents didn't look in a magazine for a name. They got Mark out.
So what's on the Zero Mason win?
How's that?
I think my dad opened a bag of potato crisps. No balls and a strike for Mason Wynn. First trip to the plate for him today.
Blaze is way cooler than our names.
No question.
Way cooler.
Two strikes for Mason. Here's a good cut. Mason didn't strike the game today, but he's going to try to help us finish it and win this series. Twins have only had one home winning series against a National League club. That was the Marlins earlier in the year.
Big right center gap here. I'd love to see him serve that line drive into right center.
See Mason hit one off the top of that wall in right center. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tried to. And he'll stay alive here.
Well, we constantly say that's his best version of his swing, when he lets the ball travel a little bit and takes it to right.
So will Morris try to trick him? Or will he go with his best 2-strike pitch here? Let us see. Here it is. It was a fastball, and he strikes out 3 batters. Mason's going to challenge it. Hang on, we're not going away yet.
You gotta take a look at it.
ABA's powered by T-Mobile. It is a ball. So the Twins were running off the field, and look at this. I mean, 1/10 of an inch.
Well, this serves its purpose, and for Mason Wynn to take that challenge at this right time. And Morris trying to refocus on a 2-2 pitch.
Checks what he did, call.
Down on a breaking ball and strike out of the inning.
Broncos, only at your quality Ford dealers. Ford, moving with the Midwest.
Brooks Lee's going to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning for Minnesota. Kids having a great time today. It's been an entertaining game. Cardinals have hit a couple of home runs. Minnesota got one from Victor Caratini, and then they scored 2 in the 7th. Home runs today for St. Louis. Alec Burleson, J.J. Weatherhold, a 2-run homer, and a 7th inning single. That accounts for the Cardinals scoring. And Soriano, after an up and down, goes to work with the bottom 3 hitters for Minnesota, and that's where the rally started. A walk with 1 out to the 9th place hitter. Began a 2-run Twins rally. How did he hit that?
Off the cup.
Strike. That one bounced foul. When your Little League coach says tear the cover off the ball, I don't think this is exactly what they meant.
Razor sharp. End of the bat. Creates that.
Soriano ahead in the count. Bases empty in the 8th inning. Get that first guy. Sharply hit. Right to Blaze. He's got
him, yes!
He's good at both the infield corners. He's made a couple of nice plays today. That one gets things started, 1 out.
Yeah, playing no doubles defense on that, which was very important. Get to the end of the game, and those corners, especially on the pull side, play right on the line.
Austin Martin is next. Not Aston Martin, that's the car. This is Austin Martin, the hitter.
I do like those cars.
Do you? Shameless plug for an endorsement. No balls and a strike.
It's out of my pay scale right there. Those are, I'd say, a little bit expensive.
Well, what do they say? You can't take it with you, Mark.
Right, that's true.
I mean, Father's Day is right around the corner.
It's not a tough ask, is it?
No balls, 2 strikes. Soriano wants to think it over. This guy's been one of the great finds for the Cardinals. Tip the cap to Hamlin and his staff. They saw something in the metrics, figured they could tweak a few things and make him a really effective relief pitcher. I think he has surpassed those expectations. The changeup's been awesome. That gyro slider he has gives him another look. And the better he's pitched, the more important the roles he's worked.
he's earned those leverage situations. There's times where guys are down and he's put in spots and he's come through. Sometimes that pitch mix and when you throw it, how you throw it, it's a nice adjustment, and he's been a nice add to this bullpen.
Swing.
Got it, yes!
Martin is down on strikes. He's spinning his wheels. He's the second out of the inning. 2 strikeouts off the bench for Martin.
Well, you love the changeup. He pronates it. You see the depth of it. Perfect location, just barely out of the strike zone, getting Martin.
So Danny, 2 up, 2 down for George Soriano.
Yeah, guys, you're talking about the work that he's put in, and it's a testament to what he did in the offseason, going to tread, adding the gyro slider. And if you talk to Julio Rangel about him, it's so much preparation. He's watching his teammates. He's just trying to pick up little things, but this kid has put in so much work to get better, and he is relentless in his pursuit of doing that, wanting to try new things and just be the best version of himself, Chip.
So far, so good today. He's faced 5 batters. He's retired 4. But trouble here as Keisha's going to have an extra base hit. So the go-ahead run on for Minnesota in the 8th inning.
Well, back-to-back plate appearances that Luke Keishel has done his job. The last time was a walk. He ended up scoring on that big 7th inning to tie the game. It's a nice swing down the line for a double, and he's in scoring position for the Twins.
So don't lose sight of the man in the batter's box. Can't worry about Buxton quite yet. He's on deck. Kreidler is your batter. He singled and scored the 4th and final Twins run. Twins are 3 for 9 by my count with runners in scoring position. They have 12 hits in the game. One ball, 1 strike. You can see why that pitch is so effective. The slider spins but doesn't break nearly as much. The fastball has kind of the same trajectory, and then you have the big sweeper.
Yeah, and the reason why he had success, to your point, Chip, he tunnels all 3 of those pitches. So the changeup, the previous pitch, and the sweeper that Denny was talking about to get to 2 strikes.
1-2. Ripped straight back foul. He had a good pass in that one. Cardinals trying to head home with a 4-2 road trip. Minnesota has the winning run at second. The pitch is over but low.
Well, as we always talk about, yes, the pitch shown, it was below the strike zone. Good throwing arms in the outfield. They'll take an extra step in situations like this.
For the double, and now a 2-2. Swing, fly ball, well hit toward the bullpen.
Uh-oh. Oh, come on!
Minnesota takes the lead. They do it again with runners in scoring position. 5-4 Minnesota. Back-to-back doubles.
Sweeper, you can see elevated, easier to make the adjustment. It wasn't that down and away sweeper that he was looking for, and he shoots the gap.
So Kreidler off the bench, 2 hits, a run, and an RBI. And for the 2nd straight inning, the 9th place hitter for the Twins gets a rally started. Well, that really hurts. Now you got to get Buxton, which has been nearly impossible in the series.
So feels it's my five. Why would
The 40th
Buxton?
he's seen in this series. That surprises me.
Yeah, 8 for 11. Is that good? Wow.
So 3 unanswered runs for Minnesota so far in the game. And Buxton didn't give an inch on that pitch at the belt buckle. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The way he's reacting to that, I think he's sitting on that changeup.
At second, Kreidler is giving location to Buxton. Just as Soriano looked away, Kreidler with his right hand flashed inside. That's where the pitch was, but Buxton didn't pull the trigger. No signal there. And fouled away. Still 1-2.
Yeah, what you want to do to combat that is Ivan Herrera not setting up too early. Always signals at second base that location will determine what type of pitch they're going to throw.
Kreidler tap of the cap at second. And that missed high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Got him, yes! That was the chance to get back in the game.
The latest attack from Burt Jones.
Minnesota's going to challenge it.
Second first base, Minnesota has challenged.
Pitches that were close calls here, and he's ahead 2 balls.
Singles and left the ball game in the first game.
Has given up runs in his
Du
last
bist
2
jetzt die
outings.
Jose Vermeed.
Was very nicely done. Hopefully to be a happy post-game show. Cardinals need 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead. They've got Yandres Gomez standing in the way. Gomez has given up runs in his last 2 outings, but he has 5 saves, one of 11 Twins relievers that have saved at least 1 game this year.
Second time he's pitched in this series and gave up 3 straight singles and left the ball game in the first game. Almost hit the pole on that.
Means always smiling, but that one might be a nervous smile. 2 pitches that were close calls here, and he's ahead 2 balls, no strikes. Mean hitting 8th, he's got a single and a run scored. Remember, the Twins do not have a challenge. Mean, Church, Weatherholt, the trio scheduled first in the 9th. Ground ball, that's up the middle. Diving stop. Throw to first is going to be
safe, yes!
By Jeremy Rehak, and Minnesota's going to challenge it.
Second first base, Minnesota has challenged.
Kreidler, a heck of a play to intercept that, and
You got
the throw on a shortstop handled at first. Lewis thinks he's out. Let's see if he's right.
And Doug Schultz is going to challenge. Yep, he retains the challenge. Doug Schultz keeps the challenge.
Finish for Kreidler today. That could be a game-saving snag. So this one under review.
The review, the call on the field is overturned.
Saints challenge.
So a great play, it's short. But you got two powerful lefties coming up in Church and Weatherholt. Let's see if they can make some magic. Bet 365 betting odds with a perfect
727 Nathan Church.
Can pick up a third hit today. Cardinals are winning, or hoping to win for the fourth time when trailing after 8 innings today. This guy's not afraid to pitch inside, is he?
Yeah, and I think it's a situation where you take a pitch here. You're looking for something that you can jump and possibly hit out of the ballpark, but he's been all over the place.
Nathan helped him out. Easy to say, tough to do. Pick out a good pitch to hit. 1 ball, 1 strike. No swing. Center cut fastball, and Nathan couldn't connect. He's down to his last strike.
That was a good fastball. 96 on that last pitch, but it jumps at you.
2 balls, 2 strikes, bases empty in the 9th. And Church chased out of the zone.
727 Weatherholt.
Our final hope is J.J. Weatherholt. Let's enjoy our Budweiser play of the game. It was a substitute that made the biggest impression today.
And you see, having the ability to drive the baseball and 2-out RBIs are killers. The Cardinals have done it. The Twins have done it right back to the Cardinals.
Weatherholt first pitch swings.
No, we lost.
Buxton battling the sun. He's got it. And the Cardinals